You're on the air, baby. You're on. You did it. You made it.
What's up, everybody? This is NFL Network's Adam Ray.
This is Only Crooch.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Chris Zords from your Chicago Bear.
I'm Dionne Miller.
Dan Weeder.
Hey, man, it's Rashawn Whitfield.
I'm Courtney Cronin.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. Listen to me. You want to learn football? Listen to my guys, Phil and Shane.
Shane and Phil.
Shane and
Phil.
Oh, Phil.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
Watch the tape, and when you see the tape, you know the tape doesn't lie, and there's just the tape doesn't lie.
Obviously, poor performance tonight. We were badly outcoached, outplayed. Just didn't do anything well enough in the game to have a chance to win or deserve to win. The Bears did a good job. Totally controlled the game in all three phases. So.
You need it all. You need a complete unit. And nowadays, you got to have a quarterback, but at the same time, a complete unit and accountability. When guys trust each other and they're accountable to each other, I think it's very, very important. And that was a unique thing about particularly that group in 2001. I didn't lose sleep that year. That's 1 year coaching. I never lost sleep because I knew one thing. When we hit the stadium on Sunday, I had 11 warriors that were going to be toe-to-toe, butt-to-butt, fighting off from the beginning to end. I couldn't promise you what the final score was going to be, but I was going to promise you one thing: you're going to fight your butt off to beat them. And that was, to me, awesome. You got to love them.
Yes.
Teammates have to love each other and not necessarily like each other. We don't have to play Xbox together. We don't have to hang out at the club together. But when we put that uniform on, we're all accountable to each other, and we owe it to each other to give them the very best. And that starts with your preparation on Monday and Tuesday to give them the very best. And you look for guys that play the run, play the pass, play physical. Those were certain things. And then when you meet them, you wanted a guy that can be personable, a guy that you could bring in and meet the president of the organization, and he's at home talking to. You can introduce him to the janitor in the hallway, and he's personable and respectful too. And guys that have that quality, you can teach. They got the fire. They can have any ability. They're going to have a chance to be there and compete. The problem is we get so caught up in talent that we don't realize. I spent a lot of years giving clinics and doing things, going to Angola prison in Louisiana. Okay? Mm-hmm. You want to see talent? Go watch a basketball game in a penitentiary basketball court. Or guys playing touch football. Our penitentiaries are full of talent. I'm going to tell you, they're loaded with talent. Talent doesn't do anything if you can't apply it. Analytics. I have a very, very dear friend, actually who played for me back years ago, who was a general manager in the league. And I've talked to him from time to time, and he was just saying that the analytics was going to ruin football even more and faster than anything else, because all these teams started going to analytics in their scouting departments, going to analytics on the field, and it's one thing on the field, play the percentages. The percentages in the draft is a solid individual, not a running game. Back in the day when Al Davis and the Raiders were the bad guys, Al went athlete, height, weight, speed, and he'd take the worst of the worst and they fit them in. But they had a culture that allowed that.
They had a penitentiary.
And that's who they were, though. They were the bad guys. And they loved being the bad guys. And they allowed them being, they didn't care how the image was. But you didn't have all the scrutiny that you have today as far as the national media and stuff and the players and the habits off the field. But back in the day, they could, they did it. They were successful with it. And a lot of people follow that script at Notre Dame as a young coach. I might have still been a GA. And we had a guy come in. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a player from Pennsylvania that was highly touted. And the coach recruiting was thrilled that we had him in. He was going to come to our place, and he had his meeting with Eric, and he came out, and coach says, well, what did he say? And he says, he told me he'd get back to me. And the coach was floored. So we had a staff meeting. Coach said, why didn't you offer him? He said, I didn't like him. And the coach said, he's a great player. Eric said, I don't care. I don't want him in my locker room. He said, well, he'll go to Ohio State or Michigan State. He said, that's fine. If he goes there, he could beat us once a year. We put him in our locker room, he could beat us every day.
Wow.
And I mean, honestly, I remember that.
Powerful.
And that was, to me, that was huge powerful. Because the guy was a huge name in college football and went up to have a good college career. He didn't, bomb out. But for some reason, he didn't touch air right. And that made an impression on me, though. As a very young coach, it was like, okay, you can beat me once a year, but you're not going to beat me every day.
When it comes to TTNL, and I've seen other shows, you've seen other football shows, there's something about it. It's just the family. You sit down, I feel like I'm sitting down with family, talking with friends. Now, people are just, as an audience, there's such a rush to getting the football content. That's gonna be there. But it's the in-between, I feel like, that makes it special. The jokes, everybody messes with everyone. It just feels like you're talking with family, and even if they're on the other side of the country, it doesn't matter. It just feels like you're just talking. That's the part I love about it. I love that it is unique. I don't see that in other shows. Here we are, this is name, occupation, this is the Paris content. Calm down, slow down. But let's just enjoy this. I'll never forget when they traded up in fields and cars got up, and it was just awesome. It was just, I got up with them too. I was like, holy shit, it's happening now. It's happening now. And those are the moments you're just never gonna forget. That's why I love this show. And that's why I'm gonna support it. I've been supporting it since day one. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Quick message to Bears fans around the world. There are thousands and thousands of places that you can consume Chicago Bears related content, okay? Different media outlets, podcast shows, YouTube channels, etc., etc. But there's only one place that's never let me down. They've never even done so much as kept it 99. It's always at 100. The TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network. This is a well-oiled machine. This is a family, okay? Insightful, passionate, complex yet simplified. Students of the game, understand the game, broadcast the knowledge. That's the vision, all right? And I love it, the whole thing, from Phil, Shane, cars, my man Cool Kennedy lacing up sounds for your eardrums. It's all working, all right? They don't do the dwindle in the politics or chase narratives. They're not reading press kits and fluff pieces. It's organic, it's real, it's 100. And the tape, in fact, never lies. And neither do I. And you know what I say? Bear down, fuck the Packers.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes!
What?
Oh my God. Here it is. The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort.
Keep it 100.
Open competition. Take over the North and never give it back. Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man in Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're all stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks scrolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Jimmy. What's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unchair. The tape never lies, the truth, you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trick Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man in Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it. 1 point, 2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Birds never lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is TTNL's Keeping It 100, the best Bears show on the planet, bar none. Well, listen, George Halas was looking down and said, not today, Belichick, because the Bears blew out the Pats 33-14. What a beautiful, beautiful blowout. So, of course, we got a lot to talk about, and of course, we got another great show for you tonight. We got the TTNL Keeping It 100 veteran from ABC 7, Dion Miller, fan favorite, coming on. She always brings the heat. So, let's bring on the man, Draft Dr. Phil.
The smartest man on the network, right here.
Right there. There
Thank
he is.
God.
We don't even need Shane. Shane was fired. No, just
Yes, Shane has been
Never.
put on wait. We traded Shane to New England
for a
third
fifth
round pick.
Third
Round pick. We got a third round pick for him, Claudia.
Okay, he's worth it. So the question is, listen,
Yes.
for visor or no visor? That's.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm just joking. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about visors later.
Yeah.
I think everybody's.
So what's up?
Listen, the
How you
Chicago Bears, first of all, did something they never did, and they went into Foxborough and won a game. And everyone could come crawling out of the forest saying they thought they knew. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. And that's what makes this game so great. And that's what football's all about. I've cut up the tape, and I'll release that for the patrons tomorrow. And you just see the determination that Justin Fields had, because without him, you don't win that game. Just watching through the tape, the things that he's able to do. Now, he's not a perfect prospect in the very least, but his feet. Now, I think back to Russell Wilson, and if you follow me, you know Russell Wilson is probably my favorite quarterback in the NFL. I know there's a lot of people like Kyle Brandt rolling deep and it's fun to pile on. But I know what Russell Wilson stands for and has done in this league, and the kind of elite football player that quarterback is. I'm looking at Justin Fields looking back on young Russell Wilson. And Claudio, it is important that people understand that when you're 6 foot, almost 6'4", 233 pounds, and you can run a 4.4 40, that a coach that understands that kind of talent can make nightmares on people. And that's really what Getsy needs an applause. I mean, I've been asking for this for weeks. I said it on BHL, but I'll say it again tonight. You know, I'm looking at this roster as a coach, and I was like, Mustipher needs to be benched. You got to get Velus Jones out of punt returning. You need to run the ball with Justin Fields. You got to put Schofield in at guard, bring up Dieter Eisland, make your offensive line more physical. Obviously, move Tevin Jenkins to left tackle or right tackle. But they did do some of the things that were necessary for this football team to improve. They benched Velus. I mean, you look at Velus, he cost you 2 games. Giants and Commanders. You should never have lost to the Commanders. Then you look at, obviously, Sam Mustipher, I'll say. When he came back in, he played pretty good. I know there's a lot of...
One play
there's a lot of run. But listen, there's, you know, Dieter. Sam is who he is. He's never going to be athletic. He's never going to be physical. He does what he does. And he's a backup. That's what he is. So I look at this football team and I see that. You know, hopefully they give Dieter a shot here. I know I've been dying for my boy to get pulled up, and finally it's there. And I think that kind of competition is what breeds success. Larry Borum didn't have a very good football game. Neither did Braxton Jones. Again, struggling. These tackles are very difficult to watch, but Justin Fields is able to create with his feet, and he made some throws. The Cole Kmet stepped up. So the point I'm trying to make is that instead of talking about and really doing nothing, these people are actually going out there, and the coach is turning around and making the changes. And I think that's
what we didn't see last year. I mean, that's what
we
kept saying week after week. We want to see changes, do something different, play different players, and that you got to love that. You know, it's been a little rough. Obviously, we don't have the best record that we would want, but you gotta like the changes in the direction that they're going.
Well, I think if you look at a football coach, and I've always said this, I've been around football coaches my whole life. In Chicago, I've been around politicians. I've been around paychecks. I've seen guys that have checked out. They don't put the young guys or fundamentals first. They don't put football first. They put politics first. They put the GM's list of draft picks or highest paid. They put them out there, and they don't create competition or accountability. Now, if you're looking back, and I know our guest is coming in here, but I want to finish this point. If you're looking back at Eberflus taking on the press as you're hired for the first time as a head coach, and you're talking about track shoes, hits, loafs, you're talking about these things. They have to be the very foundation of what it is that you do. Because if you fall away or sway from that, and you continue to put Velus out there at punt returner, and you continue to put Sam Mustipher, who's struggling, out there, and you continue, players see that. They know who can play, who can't, who's going to give you the best opportunity. So then your whole foundation gets destroyed. You've all been around a substitute teacher. If the sub comes in and puts his feet up, you're all throwing paper balls around, spitball. No one's paying attention, but a sub comes in there and sets the tone, then you know what's going to happen. And Coach Eberflus deserves a lot of credit because it's the first time the Chicago Bears in their history have gone into our backyard here, Claudio, in Foxborough, and have been able to win a game. And not only did they do it, they did it in a dominant fashion. And that deserves a lot of credit. And let me say this, the football team played physical, and they played with a tenacity that I think you build off. That's the only thing I can hope for. Speaking of build off, we've been waiting for this lady to come back, because when we last had her on the show, we didn't know what this was going to be. But now, like, you know, it's like going to your neighbor's house. They're cooking dinner for you don't know how they cook. You know, she's like, let me taste this. Claudio was my neighbor. His mom cooked. I didn't know.
My dad was over my house all the time.
my dad made sauce a certain way. Claudia. So then you got to taste test it. Right now, she's had a taste test of what Eberflus, polls, and this organization is about so far. And I can't wait to get to talking with her. You know her from ABC 7, ESPN. Let's bring her out. Dion Miller.
After the debacle we witnessed on Sunday Night Football versus the Rams, we could use someone to brighten up the TTNL studios. So we made a call, and we're bringing in the best. TTNL fans, this lady has found the wise. She knows them, just like most of us do. And we didn't even need to collaborate about it. Bears fans, get up out your seats and let's give a proper TTNL welcome to ABC 7 Chicago's very own Dion Miller.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Did it just say that was actually created in 2020?
That was.
You guys.
Way back.
It's crazy, right?
Way back now. That's awesome. That makes me so happy. How are you? It's great to see you both.
Listen, we got Claudio sitting in for Shane. He's running late at Riley's basketball. Whatever. Basketball's too early, I told you. It's football season.
It's too early.
Kid
My
should be
son is
playing
at
left
hockey
tackle.
practice, you guys. He's at hockey practice.
Nice.
Hockey is, and ice time is never convenient.
Oh my God.
Early mornings. A lot of early mornings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either 6 a.m. or 7 to 8 p.m. There's like no in between.
God.
So, hey, but he loves it. So, whatever.
Hey, you got to do what they love, right?
Yes. Yes, you do. Guys, it's been a busy day. I'm sure
I know we got a trade.
Breaking news.
I was waiting for you to come on the show to talk about this trade. Everybody knows where I stand on Robert Quinn. Obviously, here's the question, though, Dion.
Okay.
I didn't get to see because I was out on coaching football with the kids. So I was out. I didn't see the Roquan Smith. Someone just texted me about Roquan having to leave the podium because he got emotional about this.
I was stunned. So we were sitting there. I was sitting next to Caitlin Sharkey from WGN, and she, during Roquan's press conference, she like taps me on the shoulder and points at her computer. And it was the tweet that said that the Bears had traded Robert Quinn. And Roquan saw us, and he commented from up there. He's like, she can't believe what she just saw. And it was true. And I couldn't. So he laughed for a minute. And then Patrick Finley says, there is a report out there that the Bears have traded Robert Quinn. What are your thoughts about that? And he was like, man, it sucks. And we were like, well, why? And he couldn't get a sentence out, you guys, like his shirt over his eyes. And he just said, he's like, I have so much respect for that man. And he couldn't finish. He's like, he didn't expect to be that overwhelmed with the emotion that he was. And then he looked at Aaron Clark, and it was just like, all right. He's like, I gotta go. And he got up and left. And that was the end of it. I was more surprised by the timing of the trade. I know the trade deadline's coming and all that stuff. I'm not really shocked that Robert Quinn is the one that got moved. I think we all knew that was going to kind of happen. Like that wasn't so shocking. I guess just the timing of it on a short week with them coming off that big win and trying to like somehow build some momentum there. It was just interesting. And it was also interesting how today they brought out Eberflus early, and then they brought out Justin and then Cairo Santos. And I mean, they were like zipping them through really fast. And we were kind of like, why are they rushing us? Like, there's no practice today. It was just weird. And then that news broke and it changed everything. And then after everybody left, then Ryan Poles came down and talked to us about it, which I was
did
he did. And guys, second time in a week we've heard from our GM. That's very different, very different. And he recognized the emotion that a lot of those guys in the locker room are feeling. And not just Roquan. You think of a Travis Gibson who was taken under Quinn's wing last year, and he learned from him. And you know, Robert was the veteran on that defense, and you know, they're gonna miss his presence, you know, in the locker room and also on the field. I know he had such a quiet start to this year, but they're gonna miss that. And you know, it's part of what happens when you go through a rebuild like this, right? Move forward and feel good about the direction that you're going. And there's no question in my mind that Ryan Poles feels that way, but that doesn't make it easier what today was. Poles was even emotional about it. He's like, I know him. I'm making a trade here, and I actually have gotten to know him, and I wanted him on our team. But I just feel like this is better for us for the future. And so what we know of him is those are the moves he's going to make.
Yeah, they're looking at draft capital here. The message, though, to the fan base is my question to you, because here you are, you're talking about timing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going up against Dallas this week, but you're coming off a victory, probably the most complete football game the Bears have played in the last 8-9 years, maybe
Easily.
10.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
Now you're trading. I know people could debate all the time. It's not about sack. We had Greg Blosh on last week with us, and we talked about pressures and sacks versus sack. Robert Quinn's presence alone is immense. So is this a message that is it sending the wrong message to the fan base that we're worried about next year, not now, especially coming off that big win?
No, because I feel like that's kind of what they've said already. I think that some of the moves or non-moves that they made in the offseason were kind of an indication they were like, look, we know what we have in front of us, and we know that we're not going to be very good. So how are we going to position ourselves for next year and for the future? And you see what he's done. I mean, they have so much salary space for next year. Like it's astronomical compared to what other teams are dealing with. And so he's setting them up to build for the future and kind of looking at the roster in a very smart way. And I think that that's kind of been clear. The wins, to see them win the way that they did on Monday night, it felt like a moment, right? It felt like Justin Fields was a reason they were winning. It felt like he had more confidence. And then you think about, Tom Waddle asked this today. He said, do you think about, you know, Poles speaking, Eberflus taking and backing Justin Fields, Eberflus taking so much time during the mini bye to really pour into his quarterback, and then Luke Getsy designing plays that really complement his strengths, and you know, pulling out these designed runs for Justin that allow him to shine. Was that a jolt to his confidence that he needed? Shane's here.
Hey, I checked my phone and Dion's like, "Can you get here? Hurry up and get Claudio off this."
Yeah, exactly. He's not saying. I'm trying to do my best Shane impersonation. Just be quiet and let Phil talk.
Oh my gosh! I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here.
Yep, had my son's basketball game, so I'm running a little bit late.
How'd it go?
Good. They lost at the buzzer. It was
bummer.
One of those emotional dad moments, but yeah, you use it as a teaching moment and move on to the next one, right?
I just love it that he's playing sports and feeling good, and
he's doing great. Yeah, he's thriving. Now, if we could just get his sister to calm down, we'd be one big happy family.
There's always one. Always one.
And she is the one. That's for sure.
I have one too. It's okay.
Yeah.
You have the trade that goes down. The Bears are absorbing his contract this season, but next season they'll be free of what he was going to cost. So is that pushes them up to what, 138 million now?
It's something like it's close to that, right? Because it was the
like
last I saw was 116 or 125. Yeah, 125.
They have almost double the next closest team.
That it's crazy. And hopefully by then we'll have seen that he has put some sort of a base layer on this roster that gives you reason to trust in what Ryan Poles is doing. I feel like with Ryan Pace, we thought we were building trust with him, and then it just felt like mismanaged decisions, right? Like you were just like, wait, what's he doing? And almost like by the end, he was just grasping and things were not sticking together. And I want to see with Poles maybe something different. I will tell you guys this, like there's still, I mean, every business, every workplace has its own dysfunction, but I will say this, people really like working with Ryan Poles and his wife. I hear nothing but wonderful things about both of them, how down to earth they are, how much they care about every person in that building. And I think that makes a difference. I really do. And I wanted to talk to Eberflus away from the podium because I do feel like he's a really cool guy. And I feel like it would be cool to get to know his personality away from him to speak. And how, isn't it fascinating, guys? Like he'll give those rah-rah speeches in the locker room and everybody's like, yes, coach, yes. But you know, if those same words came out of the mouth of Mark Trestman or Matt Nagy, that they would roll their eyes. Like, how did he do that? I just find that so fascinating that they have totally bought into what he's been selling to them, knowing at first they didn't. And at that first press conference, like you were mentioning, Phil, we were kind of like, what, dude? Like, come on, that's not going to work. And it's working, and they're into it, and they're one unit, one team, and he's just got them believing. And you know, that's why you wonder, oh, a long layoff, is that going to make a difference? No. A short week, is that going to make that much of a difference? I don't think so. I mean, I feel like he just knows he's running a team. He's running a team, and that's something we've not seen.
You know what I think it could be, Dionne? You know, we were just talking about children, and I think there's a direct correlation there is accountability. You know, it's just like having kids. If you're holding them accountable, we heard him day one said, "Hey guys, you better get your track shoes ready."
Yeah.
And the biggest player that we talked about here, I've been an Alabama fan my entire life, so I watched Eddie Jackson at Alabama every snap. Nick Saban went right up to him and he said, "Eddie, you know what? You're a captain of my team. You're a leader of this defense. If you're not going to tackle, your ass is going to sit right over here on the bench." And he benched him. He benched him. And then Eddie came back, and that's when he ended up breaking his leg. And that's what caused his draft stock to go down. But I think he's holding these guys accountable. You know, everybody wanted to poo-poo the hits philosophy and say it's hokey and all this stuff, but it's legitimate. These guys want to be coached hard. Eddie Jackson's getting coached hard, and it's starting to pay off. Justin Fields said,
well, we haven't seen anybody before Dion came. I was talking, this is the same thing I was saying in my rant. We haven't seen Nagy say Velus out, this guy out, Mustafa bench. We got to get better and do it, and actually do it. Hold people accountable. It's the extreme. You go in and beat Bill Belichick in Foxborough, and you've never won there. You've never won it. Think about that. I've been there 3 times to watch the Bears play. All of them got smacked.
Wow.
Including my buddy Chris Zorich. I was telling him, you were there. You got smacked too by Doug Flutie, of all people, as a Patriot. So it's like, what Eberflus is building, that sauce. And I'm going to take the victory lap here for this network, because it's bred as the coach is the most important. If they buy in, it's because you walk the walk.
Yes.
You can't just talk. Trestman, Fox, all of them put politics first. It seems like Eberflus is putting the results, the performance first. That's why you watch the tape, and that's why you say, hey, this isn't acceptable, Sam. This isn't acceptable, Velus, and so on down the line. We got to do different, or else you're going to be sitting on the bench. That's a motivating, and using your peers, right?
Yes.
That's a motivator.
That's what I was just going to say. How many times just in the last 2 weeks has he talked about doing it for the guy next to you? Yep. I've not heard a coach in that building talk about that kind of accountability, like peer accountability. Exactly. And I think that makes a huge difference when you're dealing with 23, 24, 25-year-old kids who are still trying to have their brains develop, and they understand that kind of loyalty, right? That brotherhood loyalty, they get that. And when you think about that way, then you're wanting to make sure that you're ready, you're doing everything you can to help the team. And when everybody does that together, it can result in some really great things. I wonder, what do you guys think of? This is kind of like when they had no injuries over the last couple weeks, right? I really think that's because of their conditioning and because they're ready. Like,
don't you remember we got to get calloused, but then we're not going to let the guys callous.
We're going to
come
bubble
over here and
wrap
sit
you.
down. Yeah. We're going to the Super Bowl. We made the playoffs. We're going to the Super Bowl, Matt Nagy, right?
That's just,
it's inevitable. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And just to see that everybody wants to be there. They want to be out on the field. They're doing everything that they can. I mean, it's impressive. And Eberflus deserves a lot of credit. He really does, for the way that he's run the team and brought everybody together. I'm also a huge Luke Getsy fan. I really like him. Every time he talks, I feel like we have to listen. And he's arguably the most important person in that building, right? And how he's developing Justin Fields, and the fact that they have a good relationship. And if he tapped into something on Monday night that they can build on, that will just continue to build. Justin's a super confident kid. There's no question about that. But he also has the fragile psyche of a 20-something, right? So if they can continue to build on that and get him feeling like I can be the difference here. And also I'm noticing more when he talks about mistakes that he makes, that things are slowing down for him. Like, he knows why he made the mistake, and it's not this like grand mystery where like, I don't know why that happened. We're seeing him develop in front of our eyes. And that's all I guess we can ask for in a season where, no one expects them to go to the playoffs or anything crazy like that, but be competitive, have moments like Monday night, get everybody excited about the direction you're going. I think that's what we can really ask for right now.
Dionne, one thing that I wanted to ask with this, just before we move off of the Robert Quinn trade, is one thing that I haven't heard talked about in all of, they're killing polls on Sirius XM saying that he got fleeced. And I mean, that's complete nonsense. But Robert Quinn is the ultimate pro. He's the ultimate teammate. He's not a guy that's going to go there. He's going to complain. But he's also 32, 33 years old, wants to play for a Super Bowl. So I almost think that Ryan Poles did him right as a veteran that was not going to be here in 2023. We know that. They were going to move on, clear out even more cap space because he didn't have any guaranteed money left. He sent him to a team that's the only undefeated team in football, contending for a Super Bowl, primed and ready to go. And I think that resonates with other veterans in the locker room, younger guys, and other players throughout the league. And, you have 120 plus million in cap. And I think that they see that, and I think players respect that he did the player right.
I kept thinking about that all day. Like, that's what Robert wanted, right? Was to compete for a Super Bowl. And he now has the opportunity to do that with the league's best team. And that's exciting for him. And you wish him the best in that moment. And you could tell that it mattered to Poles where he was putting him. Like, he talked about, we are uprooting his family. We get that. We are moving. That's not easy. And we are messing with his words, the fiber of our locker room. We are messing with that, but we feel like it's worth it. And I think there is a level of respect that goes with that, because he didn't send them to a bottom feeder. He sent him to a team that can compete and can give Robert what he wants, knowing that Quinn wasn't going to be around next season. I think he did him right too. I really do. Yeah. I think it was a powerful statement for him. And then to own it right away, to come out right away and talk to us about it. I think that says a lot about who he is and the kind of way he wants to run this team.
Yeah, Ivan, if you could pull that interview for later, I'd love to. I've been on the football field for the last 3 hours and missed all this stuff. I was driving home when one of the players said Robert Quinn has been traded. And I'm like, really? Can't. And there it went on the news with Schefter and so on. I love Robert Quinn, but I understand at this point the business of it. And I will say this on the tape, he's the best player on your defense. It's not a debate for me. I know what he does to defend. The New England Patriots were blocking him with 3 guys, and I have 3 trolls saying, "Where's Robert Quinn? Where is he?" Well, they're
stat scouts.
They're clearly trying to take him away in this game and have somebody else has to start. That's football. But that being said, good for Robert. My question though, is Roquan next?
I don't know. I mean, we asked him today if his mindset has at all changed since, holding out and now having this great season, but holding out and then saying, no, I'm just going to bet on myself. And I'm going to, he makes it rain in the end zone, whatever. Yeah, and so everybody's thinking about, oh, he's still all about the money. And so has your mindset changed? He said, no, I still feel the same way I did before when I made that request. But I also have now shifted my focus to it's just about the season and what I can do for this team to help this team. And I do feel like this year he's had a little bit more of an outgoing personality, like showing his emotion today. I don't feel like that would have happened a year ago. I just feel like he's more comfortable in his own skin right now. And maybe part of that is representing yourself in the way that he is. Maybe part of that is going through that holdout and kind of realizing how powerful his voice is and kind of coming into that for himself. Maybe that's it, but I don't know. I would be really frustrated if they did trade him because I feel like he's got so much upside ahead of him. He's not an older veteran. He's more just an experienced player that can and will make a difference on your defense. But he isn't going to, I don't know. He wants top money. And maybe if he leads the league in tackles all season, he can somehow find a way to justify requesting such a number. But I feel like they're still trying to figure out exactly where he fits with all of this. And that's going to take a little bit more time. I wouldn't be shocked though. I mean, Ryan Poles knows what he's looking for and knows the kind of defense he wants, the kind of roster he wants it to look like.
So is his head coach.
And so I feel like they're evaluating everything right now, and it's possible. I just personally would be upset. I mean, I was emotional today. I mean, I'm an old woman. I cry at everything. But when he's crying about Robert, and we loved Robert Quinn, he was the media good guy last year. Like, he was so great to talk to and so kind and thoughtful and so honest and so. Yes. So there was not an ounce of pretension in that man, right? Like, he was just so endearing because he was so honest and just himself. Like, he almost looked at us like we were crazy, some of the questions that we were asking him. So he just was a gift. And so, that was emotional, but I would get emotional too if they let Roquan go, because he's become like, I don't know, he's been fun to interact with this year and seems more loose. And I think he's good for the locker room.
I would get emotional if they trade David Montgomery. That would crush me. And I think it would be a wrong decision because I think he is such a vital piece to this team and to number one.
Mm-hmm. Very.
So I think he helps build number one. I mean, just watch some of these effort runs. Mm-hmm. It just helps Justin Fields. So I think that would be a mistake if they did pull a trade. Because I know as I was driving home, even here in Connecticut, Bristol, I heard former ESPN 1000, Sarah Spain has a show as I was driving home, and she's talking about, well, is David Montgomery going to be traded next? I'm like yelling at my radio. Like,
no,
don't even put it out there.
No, Sarah. Don't even put it out there. I know. Yeah. I hope not too. I would get emotional about that too. I like him so much. I think that him and Khalil Herbert are such a great combo.
Perfect combo.
Yes, perfect combo right now. Mm-hmm. And for where they're at. And again, like, I forget sometimes, you guys, I forget how young these guys are. And then I'll pull out the roster and think that their birth year is a misprint or something because I remember the 90s. They're so young, right? Like this whole group is so young that it would be shocking that they would, to me, trade somebody who's got so much upside, like a David Montgomery, who they love. I mean, they absolutely love him. And I think that they're finding ways to make him shine, and that's what they need. That's what they want. And they've stayed so committed to the run, and it's hard sometimes to do that, especially when you're losing a lot of games, but that's what's worked for them. And they've made a commitment to it. That's something that Poles talked about when he got here, and Eberflus too, that we're going to do that. And they've done it. They've stayed true to their word, which just goes back to what we talked about at the beginning, right? Like, guys are trusting them because they talk and walk the same way, right? They're not blowing smoke. They're what they say they do. They're going to do. They do it, and speaks volumes.
Dion, back when Mitch was here and all of the talk was about I don't even know if you remember they were talking about the VR room for the quarterbacks, the virtual reality rooms. Did they like keep the receipt for that and return it? Because I said we never hear anything about that at all.
Doesn't
It was supposed to take the quarterback position in Chicago to the next level.
Next level.
And
right.
then
The Sun has it here, Shane.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But
It's just a fancy Oculus, you guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
Is that where the Lunch with Larry archives are stored now because nobody's using it?
Probably. But you're right. Like, oh my gosh,
that was such a huge story, and it's just non-existent now.
It was a huge story, and as you're saying it, all that I can think is, wow, was that regime just throwing anything at the wall and hoping something would stick? Right? Like they didn't know what they were doing, but they didn't know what they were doing. What a difference to have a guy come in, first-time head coach, who says, I've been preparing for 30 years for this moment.
Yeah.
And Nagy, I feel like, was thrust into that moment way too soon. And Eberflus has been like waiting for it, learning from every coach he's been around, watching and absorbing and taking notes and saying, I want to do it this way. And if I get a chance, I'll do it this way. And I think it will work if we do this. And even hearing his guys from Indy that came here and saying, we buy in because it works. Yeah. And I loved hearing Al-Qadim Muhammad say, I think he was more intense as a defensive coordinator than he is as a head coach. And I loved hearing that because he knows his role, right? He's got Alan Williams to get fiery with his defense. He's got Luke Getsy to get to his quarterback. He's managing a football team. Yeah. He's not trying to run one aspect or control one aspect like the last guy was trying to do.
But do you think that speaks a lot to Matt Nagy? Because I always point back, Matt Nagy came here and nobody came with him. No coaches, nobody. No. So it was that czar mentality that this is going to be, I'm going to be the star. Yes. Matt Nagy's going to be the star. I'm going to drop Santa's sleigh. Everybody's going to praise me. I'm going to, it's going to be my offense. I'm going to be the reason that we win in Chicago. And I think that that's very telling.
I do too. And knowing him as long as I have and I didn't think that was what his personality was like, but that is certainly how it came across once he got here. And I mean, right down to when he sold his house and there's the big N in that basketball court. And I mean, it's just like, wow, dude, I didn't realize it was all about you. I didn't know that. And then to win Coach of the Year in his first season like that, I don't think that helped. I think that fed that mentality of we're just a kicker away from Super Bowl, and then it was like this whole misdiagnosed Bears team that couldn't figure out a cure because they didn't know what was ailing, right? Like they didn't realize that the issues that were going on behind the scenes. And it's just been a refreshing change for them. Now, are they going to win like 6 in a row? No, they're not. But they still have a talent deficit. They still do. Sure. But at the same time, like Monday night just felt like he outcoached Bill Belichick. Like no one would have said that would happen at the beginning of the year. No one.
I don't know anybody there was a couple of fans in the chat room, but I picked the Bears in our pick segment to lose 27-6. I think Phil was 26-6.
I think I was like 24-12 or something crazy. Yeah. My husband's calling me.
Hold on. Let's put him on the air with us.
No, I'm not doing that.
Honey.
Just making sure there's no reason to be alarmed on the way.
Okay. Home. Double check on family emergencies. You have to these days.
Well, yes, if it's a family emergency, keeps calling and calling. But
I'm on the show with Phil and Shane. Is everything I'm like, okay?
That's what I just said.
Sarit.
Dion's been traded to ABC 50 out of Watertown, New York. He just read it on Twitter.
Breaking news. No, it was very kind. He wondered if I wanted him to pick up dinner. No, I'm fine.
There you go.
Put him to work.
Nice.
There you go.
Thinking of me.
Thinking of you. I wanted to ask Kevin Jenkins. Here's a guy, when you pop on the tape, if you love offensive line play, has probably been the most physically gifted, talented. I mean, he's just destroying people out there. This past game is like unbelievable. Has he bought in to what it was? Because all of that soap opera.
Oh my god!
Begin to see, he was almost being traded. I'm getting paranoid over it. What has he been like?
He's been Awesome. First of all, I too am a huge fan of offensive line play. I think O-line is so sexy. I don't know why. I just do. I always have.
Yes.
I think because that's where everything happens, right? Like I love to watch the game staring at the trenches. It's like my favorite thing. But he has been a different guy. I mean, he's first of all slimmed down. Like you can tell that he's put in the work. He is slimmed down and toned down, but he can push defenders like into their own secondary so fast. It's unbelievable. I mean, and to think of everything that was going on in his head to start training camp and for him to sit there on cut day and say, I can't believe I made the team. I woke up this morning thinking I'm getting cut today. And now to have him be someone that has solidified his space on that offensive line that is still evolving around him speaks volumes about where his head is at. Now, we knew that when he was in college, he struggled with that mental space of like his coaches having to say, look, Tevin, you have all the talent in the world. You just have to focus and apply yourself. And he had a lot going on with losing his mom and all. I mean, he's had a rough life. That's just real life. But for him to kind of make that growth jump that he has just since training camp, I mean, it almost feels like a non-story that they were wanting to trade him just a couple of months ago. It's like something we hardly ever talk about anymore because he's just found his spot and he's finding a way to shine. You can't ignore him when you put on the tape. And I think that says a lot about him.
Dionne, Kyler Gordon, I mean, he was getting railroaded pretty bad. I mean, in every direction from, media, fans, and I mean, teams were obviously attacking him. But I mean, over the last couple of weeks, you see that things are starting to click in his head and just being around the team. Are you noticing that off of the field? I mean, he's always been a confident kid, but still that has to wear on you a little bit. Is that something that's noticeable to you off the field?
You know what I noticed is in the locker room, even when he had like some of those really rough moments, he didn't want to talk to the media. You could tell. I mean, it would be very in and out, quick to his locker, not really engaging. And just in the last week or so, he's been talking more and being more available. I think he's feeling more comfortable. It's a huge transition. We know that, but it can't be easy when Jaquan is jumping off the field like he is and making such a difference and standing out so much, right? And knowing that you were picked before him and you're like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be doing that and it's not coming as quickly for me, and just kind of finding his place in all of that. He is someone though that I feel like wants the spotlight, kind of craves the spotlight. So as he finds his way, I think Monday night was a big deal for him, a big step for him, just getting that first one and getting it like, okay, I know I can do this, right? It's just that, again, that mental thing that clicks with these young kids to be like, I know I belong here, but now I have proof, right? Like now I made a play. Now I can say I did that, but I have an interception and I'm doing what the coaches are asking me to do and it's paying off. So I do feel like he's going to get a little bit more comfortable. I feel like Jaquan is when he interacts with the media and he seems just a step ahead with all of that stuff with both on and off the field. But I think Kyler's going to come along. He definitely has the mobility, the athleticism, and the flexibility. To me, he just runs different. Maybe that's because I know that he was a dancer. And so you're like looking for those like more nuancy things that he would do. But I do feel like he's got a grace about his play that is different. As he's making this adjustment, but he's been fun to watch, but he needs a lot of work. And I think the Bears know that.
Well, let's play a game. The three of us, Ben, we're taking,
why am I nervous?
we're taking Ben's question and we're going to play a game. Okay. Robert Quinn has been traded. Robert Quinn, unlike in years past, was named the captain. So he held the captain shield. We didn't rotate captains, right? Because somebody was picked up off waiver and they used to play against the Cardinals. You're going to be a captain this week. It actually means something now. Just like you said, Robert Roquan getting emotional, Ryan Poles getting emotional. They traded an emotional leader, quiet, maybe a quiet storm. Who do you pick to replace Robert Quinn as captain?
Oh my gosh.
I have my guy. Shane, do you have a guy?
Yeah, I got a couple of them that I could go with. But I know yours is a layup. Everybody knows who your pick is, Phil.
Well, you're going to laugh. I don't even pay attention. I know who are the captains? Justin. Roquan.
And then
Robert Quinn.
Robert Quinn.
And then they name one every week. Oh, then
that was it. There wasn't a fourth
captain, right?
Yeah, I think there was a fourth. Who was the fourth?
Isn't the kicker?
I thought there.
No.
Wasn't he
Cody Whitehair.
Cody Whitehair.
Oh yeah,
he's
Cody
Whitehair. Right, it was
Yeah.
Cody Whitehair.
Good job,
And they
Mike.
didn't replace him, right?
Mike Haw. Well, he might come back, or is he out
He
for
might
the
come-
year?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think he's on short-term IR,
Yeah.
along with Lucas
So-
Patrick. That's good.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Everyone thinks they know my captain.
If you say Sam Mustipher, Phil's gonna rip the door off. of his
Never
ball.
say Sam Mustipher.
Olin would. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did.
Is he listening?
Leave
I
my
don't
boy
care.
Olin
We love
alone.
Olin. We love Olin. He's the
Fucking
man.
love Olin. I don't agree with him about Sam, but I love Olin.
Who else would be a captain?
I think there's a very
on.
underrated guy that gets no love. I know. I'm not going to take Phil's guy, but one. I think a guy that's ascended this year that makes a lot of money could be an easy pick in Eddie, but
I know,
DeAndre
that's
Houston
what I was
Carson.
thinking was
DeAndre
Eddie.
Houston Carson for me is
That's your guy.
a guy.
They
that's,
like him a lot.
Yeah.
Look at
Why
Pepe.
can't I think of
Pepe.
anybody? That's really
Okay,
bad.
I'm gonna help you. He
Okay.
wears number 32.
I was gonna say I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna take your guy.
David Montgomery.
You think
is-
so?
Oh my God. If you look up hits right next to it, Eberflus's face is looking at David Montgomery. There's nobody who plays with that kind. I mean,
I shouldn't laugh, but you're right.
I think he gives everything he has every single time he has the ball. And
Yes.
that says a lot about him. I just absolutely, if I know people get upset, the football player on tape says something, but the person he's matured into is the lead. He's the heartbeat of this team. I mean, did you see his effort at the?
Oh.
Listen, let me say this, Dion. Tell me if you agree with me. This is why he's the captain. Bears on the goal line in New England. David comes in after Herbert runs for 9, even though he should have hit it in there and got you that first. So now it's 3rd and 1. David comes in. He hits it off tackle, and it looks like it's shut down. He's driving his leg. He breaks out of there, bounces outside, and they tackle him at the 4. Then they give it to him again. He pounds it into the end zone, and no questioning where the ball was or anything. He's just going to put it away. That's your captain. That's your captain.
I don't
Who's
hate that
your
idea.
captain, Dion?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know
could
what?
ju-
I
you
mean, he's not been there long enough, and he's injured now. But I would have said Lucas Patrick. Like, he definitely has everybody's
Yeah,
attention,
he's got a good
he has a good
vocal leader.
voice. Yeah, he's a good vocal leader. You know who else has having a terrible year? Well, had a good Monday night, but Cole Kmet. Oh my gosh, he speaks so well, and people listen when he talks. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Gosh, they're so young, you guys. I mean, they're like babies. Everybody I think of, I'm like, no, they're only like a first-year player, second-year player.
They've become the youngest team probably
Yeah,
in the
youngest
NFL.
team.
It's going to go.
after
Yeah,
this
it's going
trade.
down even more now. I mean,
Going
but
down
even-
even more. I don't hate the Eddie Jackson thing or DHC. I don't hate
Yeah.
that. I don't hate that. I think if you're going to pick somebody else on defense, it might be DeAndre Houston Carson. He was the honorary captain last week, right?
He
Or is it
was.
this week?
So.
He
EQ
was.
is this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, DQ is this week.
EQ. Yeah.
Equanimous, sorry.
Yeah.
Equanimous St. Brown.
Spelling
Equanimous
never been
St.
Phil's
Brown.
strong point.
I had
You said it,
DHC in my head. Don't laugh at it.
Oh my gosh, that was great. Oh man.
Listen, when you look at your kicker and
Yeah.
Cairo Santos, how clutch has he been?
You know, when you hear your quarterback say that, I know once we get in a certain range, we're guaranteed points. That's a big deal. That's a big deal for a struggling offense. And
Yeah.
for him to be as automatic as he has been. He said today that, how do you get on streaks from like 50 yards out and you keep making them from that distance? And he said, you just have to hit that first one. And then you start to gain this confidence, and it just comes and it comes. And he said he went through seasons of his career where he would miss and have a hard time like finding that rhythm again. He's like, and then I would just hit one, and then I would start. That's all I'd need, and then I'd start another streak. I mean, he's been really, really clutch for them. Amazing for them. I mean, they just what they've needed. I think what made Monday so great was not only was he hitting field goals, but they were also scoring touchdowns. Like it wasn't just him, and that's what made Monday so wonderful, and why he was so deserving of getting some recognition.
That's why I always laugh. I know he wasn't involved in it, but when everybody talks about the kicking circus and having 8 kickers, but at the end of the day,
he was in that competition.
Right, but at the end of the day, it worked. It worked out.
It did
in a big way, and I mean everybody makes fun of it, but
they were going to sign him.
Yeah,
but he got hurt.
Yep, and they traded for Pinheiro, and then he got hurt, and Cairo was ready to go.
I mean, he's been so great, and they love him in the locker room. Like he's a good dude, and he's been really great. It's a very big deal to have that kind of confidence once you get into a certain point, right?
And I think it's evident in the play calling when they get close. They're not. I don't think it. I know it's hard or it's easy for people to say they just don't trust Justin, but they know. If it's 3rd and 14 or whatever,
right.
A couple more yards, we can let Cairo go out there, and we're going to get our points, and we don't have to force anything. So, yeah, we've all lived that life of kickers that aren't reliable. Post Robbie Gould, and even at the end of Robbie's career here, he wasn't. He had some issues, and I think people forget that. But
that's why he got cut. He ended up getting waived because he was so inconsistent. Robbie Gould says if it wasn't for him getting cut, he wouldn't be the kicker he has become because it really, because he got
Mark Trestman kicking on 2nd down in Minnesota. I missed that one.
Whenever I saw, I had a heart attack. I'm like,
what are we doing?
Get 5 more yards at least.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you
2nd
doing?
down?
That was so weird. I remember that. I was like in the lot, like we were waiting for the end of the game. And I remember everybody was like, wait, what are they doing? Are they kicking a field goal? Oh, that was so bizarre.
I remember texting Phil live. I'm like, he's going to miss this. This is so Chicago. He will miss this.
Chicago.
The Syracuse coach is reading Mark Trestman's leadership book.
Dino Babers. Oh, God.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Giving away a game. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. Crazy. If you watched him, he drove me crazy with some of his coaching decisions. But when you look at this football team, in all honesty, and I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah. There's my husband.
Look at there he is. There he is.
Bring me a lemonade from Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A lemonade. Sugar-free or do we have sugar?
It's the sugar-free.
I knew it.
I'm surprised of no one in this conversation. Thank you, darling.
Hey.
I'm a really cheap date.
That's it. Is there any liquor in that?
Lemonade? No, there is not. There is not. Not yet.
That's the quickest way to my wife's heart is right through her stomach, Dionne. Bring her food. She'll love you forever.
When you look at this football team heading into Dallas, after they've performed the way they did against New England, you, me, nor Shane gave them a shot. I won't speak for anybody else. How confident are you? Or is this a weekly novel for this football team? Like one of those changing novels?
I'm not sure. I mean, I hate to say it that way. I feel like there's so much to build off of what happened on Monday. I'm nervous because the biggest discrepancy I see is that the Bears offensive line has allowed more sacks than anybody, and the Dallas defense has sacked quarterbacks more than anybody else. So that makes me a little bit nervous, especially because they're shuffling the offensive line again on a short week and trying to make that quick turnaround. But I do think, and now, as Eberflus told us, they've also put on tape those designed run plays for Justin. So how Dallas may adjust because of that. I mean, Micah Parsons is a real legit linebacker, you guys. Like, that's not a joke. So they have a lot of weapons that I think can make it challenging. It might be a week-to-week thing. I think we see more flashes of what we saw on Monday at a more consistent rate. It's not just going to be like, oh, wow, remember that one really great game he had? I feel like this is the kind of regime that's going to build off of that. and not just let that be a one-off. So is it going to be week to week? Sort of is the best answer that I can give for that, because I feel like once they like, they're going to take it, as corny as it is, they're just going to go 1 week at a time. Right. And so they started working on Dallas during their mini bye.
I like
they're now
that.
back to, I love that. Now they're back like to focused on this, getting the game install in and everything that they're going to do. And I do feel like they saw what worked on Monday, and they're ready to kind of take that with them and say, okay, now we're going to put this in our pocket and we can go on from here. So it will sort of be week to week. I don't think they're going to get blown out. I think it'll be competitive. I thought they'd get blown out of New England. I don't think that's the case this time. I really don't. What do you guys think?
I'm with you here. I can't see a setback. I can't see Paula Abdul. I always say, can't go
One
2
step
steps forward, 3 steps back. Whatever the song was, we need J-Lo. We need that bling and rock that you got. That's what we need. We don't want Paul. Build off this for once. Build off this. You real quick, Shane. You mentioned this, and I think it's a testament to Getsy and them self-scouting. Justin Fields is 6'3" or 4, 233 pounds. He runs a 4.4. You have to incorporate run game. You have to incorporate run game with him.
Yes.
And they did it against New England. And you know what? The greatest coach, arguably the greatest coach of all time, really had an issue with Justin Fields. And that's why they won the game, because of their run game. And that's got to be your recipe moving forward.
That's how you stop a pass rush.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Quarterback draw. Goodbye. Those guys are going upfield. We're going straight up the middle. And that truly, think about 3rd and 17, guys.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Justin drops back. He hitches and scrambles out and just runs like he's jogging for a first down. It crushes a defense's spirit. And that crushing can happen. And that's really where the Bears can hang their hat and change this culture of winning.
Oh, right. And I was listening to Mike McCarthy today talking about prepping for the Bears and just saying how impressed he was with Justin on Monday night. He's like, I was impressed. His ability to like see things and make things happen. And he said it was impressive to watch. And I think that if nothing else, I mean, for as embarrassing as that Thursday night was, at least they got the league's attention in a positive way. I mean, at least it wasn't embarrassing. I mean, I literally was dreading it. I was like, we have to sit through another primetime game of this awful team. And they didn't look anything like that. And I think that now I want to see how Eberflus, because I do feel like a lot of that was coaching. So how does he coach now on a short week?
Without a doubt.
When
the team is a reflection
of him. Totally. Exactly. Oh my gosh. In our city, like you look around and you think, all right, why do the Cubs play loose and free and easy? Because that's who David Ross is. Why were the White Sox old and slow? I mean, they're a reflection of your manager. It totally agree. Your manager, your coach, whatever it is. I totally agree with that. I think more than even like the in-game stuff. It's like, it's that whole tone setting thing. I think it's a very big deal.
Yeah. And it's just so different. I mean, Phil and I would sit here and talk, and everybody else that we deal with on this network, just talking last year. Oh, let's see what they do. Let's see how they adjust. And there was just never. Anything changed. And Matt Eberflus came over from Indy, and you look at his second half defense in Indy was the best in the league. And guess who has the best second half defense in the league right now? Your Chicago Bears. Not saying that they don't have their flaws, but
that's a testament to coaching.
Yes.
Last year, if the Bears went up 10-0 and then dropped down 14-10, everybody knew the game was over. It was
over. Yes.
And I even sat here myself and said, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
And then
so did I.
It changed for me when the Bears scored right before halftime. And then I think, isn't that when New England fumbled the ball? Because I was saying to myself, oh, what do the Bears do after a big score? They get gashed on special teams, or New England will be in field goal range within 3 plays. That changed. And I said, we're starting to see a little bit of momentum. And the difference is, like you said, Dionne, this team is so young, and you see your quarterback out there making plays. And if you get your young team believing in your quarterback and having confidence, they may not care who's in front of them. Like you said, they're not going to win every game, but they may punch somebody in the mouth again that you don't think that they're supposed to be. So I'm really excited about this game.
Same. So am I. I mean, you guys, I embarrassingly thought they would win only 4 games all year. Yeah. And they already have 3. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong.
We have a bet with Kaplan.
Okay.
That if the Bears win 4 games before we come to Chicago for Detroit, that Dave Kaplan is taking the whole TTNL crew out for dinner.
Yeah.
So where are you going?
Bears,
Chick-fil-A, sugar-free lemonade.
No, you're going to Chicago Cut. That you make him take you to Cut.
I think he did take that off the table.
He did?
Yeah, I think
Zorge
so. Yeah.
put it on the table.
Yeah.
If you listen, Zorge is like Chicago Cut, and he goes, "I could play it. Should I play it for you? You have time? I could play a quick clip of David Kaplan's bet on TTNL."
I'll tell you, Greg Braggs is a dickhead.
Yes.
9 games in the books. They'll be no better than 3 and 6.
Let's put a bet on that, since I'll see you in Chicago.
What are we gonna bet?
I'll tell you what, with the bet, how many people are coming in?
You got more money than me, so be easy.
If they've won at least 4 of their first 9 games, so they got to be at least 4 and 5, I'll pick up the check for dinner.
And if they didn't, what do you want?
Yeah, what is we pay for you? That's not a
You're
fair
gonna pay for me, whoever I bring with me, whether that's my wife or a buddy. At least 4 and 5, I'll pick up the check for dinner. I didn't say it was Gibson's. The Rock and Roll McDonald has nice seating.
He's not wrong about that.
So there you go. We're 1 game away, and we have 2 swings at the plate: Dallas and Miami.
What day are you guys coming? Look at me writing it down.
We are coming up
on
November
Dallas and Detroit
11th.
13th.
November 11th. Okay.
Yeah.
November 11th, the Thursday. Shane and I believe, are flying in to Chicago. That's Friday, awesome. Saturday, Sunday, and then we leave Monday.
Okay.
But that weekend, you're going to come with us, right? We're going to get you out.
I have to see you guys. Yes.
Well, I hope to see you this weekend. And are you going to be in Dallas, or are you staying back?
I'm not
kidding
going
me?
To Dallas. No, I can't. Now, some of the people from ESPN Radio crew, a lot of them are going. But I am not. I am doing the post game or the pregame from here, and then I have to anchor at the Mighty 7, which is fine. Hey. That's fine. That's fine. Hey. It's my rhythm. Well, hey, you guys! I saw somebody on NFL Network wearing one of your T-shirts yesterday. Who was that?
Oh my
Adam
God!
Rank.
That's our boy.
I was so excited. I freaked out.
How come you're not rocking one on
I am. It's under my
ABC Chicago? Can you wear one on the network?
On the network, I need to wear it to radio. Is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll wear it because we're on Twitch, and then people will ask me about it. So.
Yeah, there you go. You're one of our. You're one of our ambassadors.
I am an ambassador. I'm such a big fan of you guys. You don't even know. How are you going? You're going with the team? What is happening?
Shh. Oh. We can't give out any secrets here.
It's not as.
There he is.
There he
Adam
is.
Rank.
Yeah.
Adam Rank.
Oh my gosh, I was so excited, you guys.
There he is, rocking the Keepin It 100
awesome.
Logo. I'll talk to you off the show.
Shut up, Dion. Shut up. And our time with Dion is over for today.
No. How much time do you have? Do you have to go?
Put down the lemonade. I actually need to go. Okay. It's been a really long day. I haven't seen my babies at all. So
I know.
We do have a request in the chat room. We're still waiting for that dunk on the hoop back there.
Oh, you're right. I'll work on that for next time. I'm not going to humiliate myself. Sorry. We'll try again. I should learn to do it this way, like just over my head.
There you go.
That would be
Look
impressive.
at you, Dion, recognizing Keepin It 100 on the NFL Network.
It was so cool.
You're always supporting us
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out there to Chicago, see you. My sons and my wife are coming out. So
I'm
we're going to
excited.
I just always appreciate your time. You're such a great
100%.
human being. Seriously.
You guys are awesome. Like, I feel like you guys are like family. So thank you for having me.
And you
I
laugh
love
at our
joining.
Larry Mayer jokes. So that makes it even better.
Hey, hey, you
Everybody.
guys. That's an easy target for me.
Larry
I'm happy
Mayer
to
is like,
have Larry
he's
Mayer.
the Dennis Rodman of questions. It's like he's always boxing everybody out. I'm like, Larry, please. Larry.
He's like out shouting us all.
Oh my God.
Drives us nuts here.
At least they fixed the mics in there. Our friend, your girl, Courtney Cronin. We told her, like, we can't hear shit.
She's like, really? And the next day, everybody was like, we can hear the people asking questions.
Oh, that's awesome.
TTNL and Courtney did it again.
Look, Courtney
Dion's
gets stuff done. She doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
Courtney is awesome.
She's
I
awesome.
can't wait to meet my two favorite ladies in Chicago.
Well, we can't wait to see you guys.
I got to tell you my Larry Mayer story real quick, Dionne. I don't think I shared it with you. I was in Buffalo back. This would have been Jay Cutler's first preseason game as a Chicago Bear. They played in Buffalo week 1 of the preseason. And I walked down to the field and Matt Forte was there. And I look over and here comes Larry Mayer. And I said, Larry. And he beelined right over for me. He's like, hey, what do you need? You want an autograph? I'm like, nope, I'm good.
He didn't.
Yes, he did. I said, I'm good, Larry.
Oh my God.
It was so funny, but he was caught in that mode of, oh shit, he really doesn't want an autograph. I was just yelling his name to be a wise ass.
Did you appease it? What was that uncomfort like? Yeah, sure.
No, Don, how awkward.
You have to like go in for the autograph at that point.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
I didn't.
You just still refrained from it?
No, I said no. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, we're right behind the Bears bench. It was so great, and he walked over and like to one of the suit, the big cases there with the Bears emblem on it, and pretended like he was busy with something with that. But it was definitely awkward, but well worth it.
Oh, that's awesome. He's so awkward anyway. It's great.
Yeah.
Will you be broadcasting downtown in your little glass booth? When?
I will.
Friday?
No, not Friday. Saturday night.
Okay, so Saturday night
is my time.
Real quick, what is that like? So you're sitting in this glass booth and people outside are just looking in at you.
Yeah,
staring
it's like you're a zoo animal sometimes. And we get some
craziest thing you've ever
homeless
seen.
People
some weird. We have sometimes the same people every time. I know that the people who've been with the news for a really long time have nicknames for some of those people that they see after every newscast and stuff. But other ways, times I really like it. Like if something lets out from the Chicago theater, and then you get this great crowd of people who are just energized, and it's a different vibe. But you definitely feel like you're on display all the time.
It bulletproof, Angela?
I believe so. But do you know that years ago a car drove through it?
Come on.
It's on YouTube somewhere. Ravi Beshwal, our weekend news anchor, was on the air, and some car was on State Street doing donuts, and then it drove through the window. They all like hovered under desks. They thought that it was like an explosion. I shouldn't. Everybody was fine, but it's out there on the YouTube somewhere. But yes,
it's
I
probably
do
drunk Greg Braggs. That sounds like something you would do.
After a CHGO show.
Yeah.
Rainbows, sunshine, purple clovers, and green. We love you, Dionne. Thank you so much. I love the fact that your husband, you said, no, I don't want anything. He still brings you a lemonade.
He did.
Isn't
that lovely?
That's me. My wife.
That means you have it figured out. Hila couldn't go to Riley's game tonight, and I said, "Do you want me to pick you up something on the way back?" And she's like, "No, I'm good. I'm just getting the baby ready for bed." And I knew that meant, yeah, you better bring me something home to eat. So, yeah.
You've got the code cracked.
Oh yes, I do.
Yes. Always make sure. No, I don't want anything for my birthday.
Yeah, right.
Better get some shit for her birthday.
I'm so bad at that. I do that all the time. I'm like, no, it's fine. And then when I get nothing, I'm like, well, what the heck?
Yeah. Exactly. We gotta change that around.
No doubt.
Acevedo.
You guys are the best.
We love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dionne.
Enjoy your night. Kiss the kids.
Will
see you
do.
soon. I can't wait to see you in Chicago.
Same. Love to both your families. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dion Miller.
Oh,
Ivan.
I thought it was Courtney Cronin the whole time, Jackal.
I'm trying to look for that video of the car crashing into the stage, into the studio. I can't find it.
I knew you were up to something.
But when she said it was on YouTube, I was like, well, gotta go.
We gotta get it. We gotta have it by the end of this show.
I have the entire text thread from Chris Jackal begging for forgiveness for the wrong
Jackal
tweet.
don't do shit, man. He tagged. We're getting to our next guest. We have a surprise guest.
We do.
But real quick, before we bring him out, Jackal, who's been MIA, we'll bring him out. Where is Jackal? Is he anywhere to be found? Let's bring him. He even has his own milk carton. We're still looking for him over there. See him?
Yeah, there
he's
he is.
missing. He messed up tonight. We have Dion Miller on tonight.
He owned it though. He owned it.
Christopher Jackal tagged.
He said I was walking off the soccer field and I knew I was in fucking
It's
trouble.
soccer's fault, Claudio. I told you that game. It's not a beautiful game. It's a boring. Oh no, it's not bad. It's growing on me, Claudio. Anyway, the Bears beat the shit out of the New England Patriots, and one of our patrons, who I happen to really love, was there to witness it, sitting in the highest seats known to Foxborough. Let's bring him out. Alex H is on the show. Alex,
hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
thank you for coming on the show.
No problem.
You're
no
a
problem.
tough. That's a tough act to follow with Dion.
Telling me, holy smoke! Good luck with that.
Oh, she's great. I absolutely love conversing with Dion about the Bears, but you were there, man.
Yeah.
You
Wait,
had
real
the
quick. We
experience.
can't get right into the game, Phil.
No,
He went someplace the day before the game.
I gotta come on for this. I gotta hear this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alex, what's up, bro?
I know.
What's up, Claudia, man?
I don't know. I don't know Alex's take, but I know one of his dinner mates. She didn't put it. Oh, she put Chicago over New Haven. But
Alex went to Modern Pizza.
I did.
He
did, Phil.
Had the experience. Did you have to wait in line, Alex?
Yeah, we actually got there. I think it was around 4:30 in the afternoon, and we still ended up waiting.
4:30 there was a line.
Yeah, like half an hour.
4:30 there was a line.
I love all.
Cherie, we're talking about pizza.
So you went into Modern Pizza. Set the stage for us.
So we obviously had planned to go there because we've obviously heard a lot of good things from people like yourself, Phil, and Claudia, even Shane, and everyone saying, "Oh, how good it is." So it's funny because from where we are in Montreal, it takes 6 hours and 15 minutes to get to New Haven, but it takes like 5 hours and 50 minutes to get to the stadium. So you know what? Even though New Haven is like a 2-hour drive back to the stadium, it's only really half an hour more. So like, I might as well check it out, right? So we get there, and at that point, Carrie Franklin is also a patron on the show. Decides to show up, and he's there with his sister Hillary. We had a great time. Really nice place, guys. Honestly, loved it. I will say this. So I thought it was an amazing pizza. I had the pepperoni and bacon, not the pepperoni and ricotta, like someone suggested, but so it's really, really good. But I personally prefer my Montreal one, but in the style of the Modern, I thought it was the best. So it's different style than the Montreal style, but
right.
I loved it. It's definitely worthwhile.
What is Montreal style?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is?
Yeah, what is it?
Thin crust.
There's maple syrup on it, and
yeah, and some snowballs on there too. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just for us, it's more about the toppings, right? So for example, there's one place in our neck of the woods called Violet Angel that's on the west end of our island. And they have like a mango and jerk chicken type pizza. It's all funky toppings.
You like that eclectic style of pizza.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. Like modern in the style that it was, Phil, is probably the best pizza I've ever had.
There you go.
Different, right?
Keep it at 100.
Yeah.
You're analytical about your pies.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm analytical about a lot of things, man.
There they are.
There they are.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at that.
Carrie and his sister Hillary, and obviously myself and Natalie. And yeah.
Look at you guys rocking the TTNL.
Indeed.
I wish I could have made it down there.
I'm going to eat there someday with Claudio Furnicola. I can't wait.
Yeah, one day. Hopefully one day. That'd be nice. The whole table. There's 10 of us.
I was only 3 seats away from him for like 2.5 hours.
I was hungry, bro. All I cared about was the pizza.
So man, I fucked up, but for sure.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Jackal needs one of those I fucked up videos. But I'm so glad that you were able to make it out there. It is, if you were to rank it on, non-eclectic, you give it's the best pizza you've ever had. Number one.
Yeah.
I never lie, man. I kid nobody. Yeah. Claudio.
What did your wife think of it? Was she on board?
She was on board as well. I think she didn't like it as much as I did because she's really more that other style of pizza I'm telling you about.
Yeah.
So
but we both loved it. Like we both loved
burnt
it.
Crust. Some people don't like the burnt crust.
Yeah. Honestly, the thing that struck me the most, to be honest, guys, is when you walk in, the smell is just amazing. Like you're going to like a traditional type pizza, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's usually because you're so fucking hungry for waiting for 3 hours in the waiting.
He only waited a half hour, but at 4:30 he's waiting a half hour.
Yeah.
What time do the doors open, Phil?
4.
I think it starts at 4.
It's at 4? Okay.
Yeah.
When we went on Sunday, to be there the day before, obviously, they opened at 4 that day.
Yeah, they open at 4, I think, every day. They don't do a lunch. But yeah, you went out there. Now I'm so happy you were able to experience that. Again, if you don't know, a lot of stuff been going on with my family. I really want to apologize to you, Carrie, and his sister, and your wife. I really wanted to come out there. I know Claudio as well. In fact, we missed not only going to pizza, but we missed probably the most complete football game the Bears have played in the last 10, 15 years. You were able to experience, as a patron, you've experienced our analysis. Then you're there at Foxborough against the coach, the greatest coach, and here he gets outshined by our coach, the rookie coach. So what were your thoughts sitting there at Foxborough? How was your experience there?
Oh, loved it. But before I get into that, just a quick side note, Phil. Honestly, obviously we would have loved to see all of you guys, right? That's part of the reason why we went down there. But you've always been preaching family first, and trust me, as soon as those words came out of your mouths, I'm like, that's where you needed to be. And if the roles were reversed, it'd be the same. And I know you wouldn't hold it against me, type of thing, right? So my prayers are with all of you guys. So for that. That being said, the game was awesome. To your point, it was really funny because we were literally in the last row in section 311, row 26. So that's about the 40-yard line, but like there's a brick wall, or there's a concrete wall behind you, and then you drop off a ledge, right? So, I mean, I will say this: I'm not in as much shape as I thought I was because those stairs are steep, and instead of taking the rectangular stairs that kind of go around and they're very flat, we took the actual stairs. So when you do like all those stories, at the end you're like, okay, I'm gonna catch my breath a bit here. And
shouldn't eat all that fucking pizza yesterday.
Should have held off the bacon, right? Just to get But it was amazing, guys. The ambiance was there. Where we were sitting, Nelly and myself, there's a lot of Patriots fans. They're obviously bringing. I mean, I've been there in 2014.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there because my brother-in-law is a Tom Brady fan, and I actually was there when the Patriots were in Chicago in 2018. So were proposed to Natalie. So I know them well, those fans, and they're obnoxious as all.
Were they?
Yeah.
Were they getting after you?
Yeah, they were. But you know what? I took the higher road and I didn't get in the game. But
Point to the scoreboard, my friend.
yeah, exactly. So every time we would score, I'm like, I would be doing like, what?
Quiet.
I can't hear anything. What?
Yeah, you
So
heard?
they're like-
Did you hear Roquan's comment after the game? He's like, it got so quiet in here, you could hear a rat piss. I've never heard that analogy before, but like that's a country boy through and through. That was funny.
Yeah. The ambiance was there, and it was electric, honestly, guys. And it was I won't call it a fog bowl, but up where we were sitting, you could see everything, right? But it's that kind of there's that mist in the air. Yeah. Well, appropriately hazy has. Hazy, right? So
yes.
So
was there a lot of bear fans there?
Yeah, quite, but sparsed out, right? And it's funny because we had actually made a little sign in the tailgate. It's one of the pictures that I sent to you guys for TTNL. We're trying to promote TTNL without being overbearing, and it's really funny because the first guy who made a mention of it saw the sign. He's like, "What's that?" So I'm explaining to him, "Well, it's a network. You got to check it out. They've got so many shows. Just give it a try for free." And he's a Bears fan, right? He's like, "What, do you work for them?" I'm like, "No, I'm a fan." And you asked me the question, like, I'm thinking in my head, what's your problem? Like, you're a Bears fan. Like, if you're a Pats fan, I'd be like, okay, I understand. But anyway, so then of course whoever would come up and ask, then I'd be more than happy to explain. But I think there were about 15 or 20 people who did pass by to ask me about what that was. One of them was actually from my province of Quebec that blew me away, like a French-speaking person.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if Charles is in here. So
Charles.
Yeah.
Maybe we got Charles.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Charles.
Charles.
French.
How do you
the French
say it?
version of it. Charles.
Shall.
I thought
he said chow. I was thinking about the
Let
Hangover.
it all out.
Chow.
But I think there's so many things that I enjoyed from that experience, and I think I got to give props to all of you guys. It's if I look at how I looked at the game in 2014 pre-TTNL and how I look at the game now, it's day and night. So obviously I'm focusing on Mustapher, right? And I let all the 100 crews like Alex Gatto let us know, is he there? Is he starting? Because Brody reported, but you're official source, you're seeing it. I'm like, yeah, he's there. And I see him get injured. I'm like, oh crap. Then of course Mustapher comes in, and all the Bears fans like, okay, this guy gets injured, he's coming in. I'm like, oh god, here we go, right? And sure enough, they rattle off all these plays, and then we're kind of, I won't say stalled, but they're having more difficulties. So I will say this for Mustapher though, he was trying harder, and I think it's because his ass is on the line. Literally, like if he's probably been told, like if you don't shape up, if you see you loafing, you're gone. Maybe, or I don't know, because obviously his talent level's not there.
I hope. I know they signed. Everyone in the chat probably knows, but some people don't. They did, and I verified this earlier today. They did sign Dieter Eisland to the active roster. Yeah. Now, they brought Dieter up twice. So the rule is, if you bring him up a third time, he has to be on he can't go back on the practice squad. Oh, so this is a big moment for Dieter, because this means he's in competition to play on the roster, the 53-man roster. And listen, this is what it's all about right here.
What's going to be interesting, Phil, if Schofield can maintain, you almost have to entertain the thought, if Whitehair comes back, if you're not going to give him snaps at center. Because this is the thing.
Whitehair?
Whitehair.
Dieter?
No, Whitehair when he comes
at
back.
Center.
Yeah. Because I think that's going to be, they moved on from Sam Mustapher when they signed Patrick.
Right.
And I said, they put him over at guard in camp, and Doug Kramer, when Patrick went down, Doug Kramer was taking the first reps at center. Yeah. Well, then he got hurt. So they replaced Mustapher then. They replaced Mustapher this past week. and but now he's the answer. It just to
No,
me
I
it
agree
doesn't
with you.
it
They
doesn't
signed
compute.
Dieter today.
Yeah,
That this is what's going on. Who's on the roster on the offensive line? Leatherwood, right? Is he still counting, or is he off the count based on the mono stuff?
no, he's practicing and
So he's a
everything.
part of the 53 list.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
I don't
so
think he's on the NFI.
basically on the roster, but hasn't dressed or whatever. And then there's another guy. He's drafted, Chatari Cart. He's just taking up a space as a draft pick, right?
But I
He's
think
got
that
nothing.
I think they have intel on that, Phil, and they're very aware of what teams were
But
interested
he's not
in
a
him.
center, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
So
no. But I'm saying that's why he's on the rosters, because they know if they try to put him down, that he's likely going to get poached, especially this time of year.
I don't
They're
even
very
know.
they're very aware of that.
I don't know if it's that, or is it what I believe all of the draft picks made this team. So he might just like his draft picks. I don't know about Carter. He doesn't seem to know his assignments looking at what he was doing. Now he's had several weeks to be learning and doing what he's doing. This could be the move where Dieter goes into center and Whitehair goes to left guard.
Logan, Jack Sanborn started against the New England Patriots at Sam linebacker.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that maybe the TV feed hasn't made it to him yet, but yeah, Sanborn started.
Listen, Sanborn, we're gonna see where he's at.
Yeah.
These are some answers we gotta say. I'm excited though that Dieter's up there, because then there's hope for me, because I like the competition. And to Alex's point, I'll keep it 100 on tape. There's some plays that Mustafa played his best, gave some strong effort, because what we talked about, accountability.
Except for the clip that Claudio wanted to play tonight. I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Oh, there were a few that he didn't really look bad. Like, and every time he had a bad time, like, oh, Phil and Shane must just be going, oh, Maron.
Well,
Like,
I literally saw the Patrick injury live, and he picked his foot up real quick, and then he put it down and went to step on it and picked it right back up. And I texted Phil. I'm like, dude. He's like, what? I'm like,
just fucking
he's hurt.
Take a shot and get back in the game. That's
Maron. He hurt his.
There it is.
He hurt his foot. You fucking pussy. I think that's what the
No,
text
I
said
did
from
not
Phil.
say that.
I think yes, you did.
Get the fuck back in the game.
He's not because his foot are he a pussy. That's
Get
exactly
the fucking visor off and shoot him. Oh wait,
That's Claudio. He broke his fucking. What did you break? Your leg or your arm?
My hand.
You broke his hand. I go, rub some fucking dirt on it and get back.
He's like, it's
up."
all right. It's all right. I'm like, Phil, dude.
Phil
I don't
is
think so.
heartless
It's like,
when you come to
hold
win
up
it.
like this. I played the rest of the practice.
I
go back
don't
to Phil's
fucking
house.
lose. I
He's
don't
like,
like to
I'm
lose.
sorry. I guess
Chris Rock said, pour some tussin on it and get the fuck back out there.
I do not like to lose, Cherie. You're right. I am a wild.
I see.
Actually, I got to shout out Maritza, one of the parents. Tonight was my last night of practice for the kids, and she brought me a gift, and the gift was this great T-shirt. It's all taped up, so I wanted to wear it for the show. I'm paraphrasing it because I can't remember exactly. This is my coaching voice, so calm down, sound like that. I'm not yelling. This is my coaching voice, because I just scream at this tone, as Claudio could tell you, about this team and about kids and about learning this great game of football. It'll be interesting. Leatherwood coming in and playing guard. He might have to go to right tackle. You got a concussion at right tackle.
I think that's going to be his best spot, is right tackle. Even back, we talked about it, Phil, when
I loved him coming out of Alabama.
He had a problem at Alabama. His hand usage he was so slow.
Yeah.
You can speak to this as a coach, Phil. When you get moved inside, it's twice as fast. especially with your hands. So that's what worries me about Leatherwood at guard. To me, he's a right tackle. He gets in there and starts to play with some confidence. Borum might not get his spot back.
Has had some rough reps.
Mm-hmm.
No, him, Braxton Jones, and Mustafa. Think about how amazing it is for Justin Fields and the running backs, because these guys have struggled fundamentally and physically. I mean, your center, the touchdown, David Montgomery's touchdown, and someone put it out there, and I shared it on my story. If you can hear the smack of pads, number 50 from the Patriots versus David Montgomery. And I'll show you on the tape, if you're a patron, center Sam Mustafa, it has the nose man on him. And the way they designed the play is he's going to leave the nose and let Tevin cut off the nose. He's got to get to that mic. Well, he can't get to the mic. He just taps him like two-hand touch. So David just decides to put his face in the fucking chest of the linebacker, and you could just hear it. But again, that's where Sam struggled. He can't get to those levels. He's terrible in screen game because he's not an athlete. He's not an athlete. So he's got to lose some weight, and he's got to do about 600 burpees and about 500 hang cleans, explosive movements to get himself to where he needs, because he's just not strong enough. But we said it, Alex, last week, right? If they go out there with that same lineup, they're going to lose. And they didn't do that. They changed things up. So hopefully this is good. My dream would be Tevin Jenkins move to left tackle, Leatherwood at right tackle, and now you get Cody Whitehair at left guard, Dieter at center, and then you could put Schofield at right guard. That would be my starting five if Whitehair was back. But if you have this kid, Jatari Carter, if he's that good, I want to see him out there. Braxton Jones, it's just not where it needs to be still. Played a better game, got a lot of chip. They did a lot of help for him, which is good, but needs to be better as you move forward in this season. Hopefully they do some things on this offensive line. I hope Leatherwood is up, man. I hope he plays.
Yeah. But back to the game that Alex was at. Alex, like, what was your, the big plays, Justin Fields? I mean, what were they? 11 of 18 on third downs. I can't remember the last time. I mean, that is so anti-Chicago Bears. I mean, Getsy talked preseason that his goal was to be right around 48% conversions on third down, because that puts you up to lead the league. And they were over 60% conversions, and it was obviously a huge part playing in the time of possession and all that. But just talk on that and seeing the guy that we need to ascend and really transcend this franchise, making plays out there. Talk on that.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Shane. I couldn't be more on board than that. And it's so funny because, for some reason, the Patriots fans, are smug by nature, right? And they think they own it all, and they've got the rings to back it up recently, right, with other quarterbacks. That being said, when Justin got the first third down completed, it kind of, where I was sitting, you could actually feel the Pats fans, that little sliver of doubt got in their minds. And I'm saying to myself, if they're feeling it, the players on the field may also feel it. And that's what Justin brought every time he had a third down. And I'm thinking to myself, for the first time this year, like, he's going to find a way. I can't explain it. It's just, even though I'm like all that way up, you just felt his energy, even all the way to the top of the stadium. He was just in a zone. He was locked in. And even if things were going crazy around him, he either escaped, I don't know how he did it sometimes, or what I love the most personally, I saw so many more check down throws from him. And to me, that is the biggest sign of his step forward in his journey this year, because he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers this year, or maybe he will. I don't know. I don't think he will, but that's what you need to do in the short term to build upon, right? And this is what you guys preach in the network, right? Whether it's Phil doing his breakdown, whether it's Shane yourself and Cars doing the keys, like you prep me saying, you know what, the defense, and guess what? Our defense won in the trenches, Shane. That's also a big reason why we won. We didn't kill them in the run defense, but we got good enough where we made them somewhat one-dimensional, right? And there's that. And then even Eric Kramer's QB school brings knowledge to me saying, okay, well, what does Justin's motions look like on his throws, right? I'm like, okay, that looked like a good throw. But again, back to what I was saying before, 2014, I would have no idea of any of these things, guys. So again, shout out to all you guys for all the knowledge you've given me over these last years. It's just, give me a different appreciation for this game. So I can't thank you enough. And yeah, so sorry, Shane, I'm going off track. So the game was electric every time. And every time we would convert a third down, it would chip away at them. And you could see it. It's like their demeanor is getting more and more desperate. And because they're getting more desperate, you're feeling more confident, right? And you're like, I won't say getting smug, but you're like, okay, we got this. And honestly, we just kept plugging along. It's like that calmness that Justin has, as much as exciting, it just translated on the field. And the Bears just went about their business and kept moving the ball.
Yeah, right? Phil talked about it on BHL, and I think it's a great point, is you can't tell if the Bears lost by 20, won with a game-winning field goal with no time left on the clock, or if they won by 19 points in New England when you're listening to Justin Fields after the game. He's essentially flatline in the post-game presser. There's no, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see this from the most important guy on your team, riding that. I want to see him emotional. If they're showing footage in the locker room, I get it. That's their sanctuary, and that's where you can let loose on the field with your players. You don't need to see that at the podium. And if you go back and watch, you can't tell that the Bears went into New England and won by 19 points when you listen to Justin Fields and just look at his body language. And I know that used to be a big thing here in Chicago, and I think it says a lot. I believe in this kid. He's not free from warts, but he's still ascending, and I think he's going to be in Chicago for a very long time. I really do. I've said on the patron shows and on BHL, if I were to list my top 5 issues with or concerns with this team, Justin Fields is not in there.
Agree completely, Shane. Yeah, for me as well. But like I said, it's funny because you talk about body language and all that. That even the players around him say he has that presence around him, right? That it factor that it's gonna get done, right? And the more these successful moments build upon each other, then that trust between not only coaches and players, but players and players grows, and that's the glue that's going to make this offensive system really take it to the next level, right? Because obviously I'm not talking about defense, right? Justin doesn't play defense, but that's as much as the offensive line has to work together as a unit, and I saw more of that in this game than I have previously. So I think they're starting to come around, right? It's not there yet, but you can see, like, even the offensive line, there's little glimpses where Musford doesn't look as lost as much. And what I love personally more is Blazing Game. Blazing Game is just a stud, man. Every time he was on the field, you should just a side note, Phil. Every time Blazing Game was on the field in my section, they're like, "Oh no!" They would all say, "Oh fuck, here we go," and they knew what was coming for them, and they knew they couldn't do anything shit about it. So that to me was like, this is our identity, right? It's either Monty, who, by the way, when Blazing Game takes out that first guy, Monty's going to take out the second. So there's 2 guys that are not making a play on that field when Monty's in, right? It's just that's the way it is. Are the other 9 going to make a play? Well, maybe not. We don't know. But I'm for sure bet my last dollar Those first two guys are not making a play on Monty. One plays the game's in there too. And
Now
that's what
we
you guys
have
spoke
a-
to.
I
And the
think we have
formation,
a-
the 2-1. Yeah.
The first time since '85, 200-yard rushing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
in a row.
Listen,
First time,
Justin Fields, without him on the field, you don't win in New England. Justin
No.
Fields
Oh, yeah.
drives you down in the worst game I've ever watched against the Commanders and has you right there to win the game again. As bad as that game was, Justin Fields is proving to himself and his peers that he's the identity. And that's the way I came away with this game. Justin Fields is growing before our eyes. And I just hope it goes consistently, step by step, building off of that. I love the design runs. When people say, is he going to hold up? This kid is the toughest fucking kid I've seen at quarterback. I mean, he's taking some shots there.
That's the one thing that you got to be scared about. He's got it. Like you brought up Russell Wilson before. Russell Wilson is so good at not taking those big hits, and that's why his career was so long. So Justin,
if we look at it, he's been good at not taking the hits. It's the cheap shots that he's taken that are definitely the problem. The shot in the back, that when he slid against several
sometimes
teams.
he moves, he goes down weird sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes he gets hit and he kind of like tries to make a move. You know, I don't know. It just seems
it's
like
because he's so fast, Claudio, right?
It could be
so fast. The way he slides, he's like running at 100 miles an hour. Then he slides, and the defender sometimes like, oh crap, and then he's too late, right?
There was a scramble where the corner had a beeline to him. He had the angle, and he ran right around the corner, and the corner had he just flattened out. It was just the speed is undeniable with Justin Fields.
I know exactly what the play you're talking. He got a low snap.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about that play?
I know it was going. It was going right to left. That's all I remember.
What one, Phil? Which one was low?
This was a bad low snap with Mustafa, right? And Justin, I'm going to show the patrons, and I make it a point of this. I'm like, there's no human being I know that's getting a first down on this, but he did. It's like alien-like. It's a low snap. He turns up, and he just outruns because Borum gets beat by Judon again, and Judon goes right by him. And then Justin takes off and just runs the alley up the angle, unlike Herbert, and gets the first down. That toss play to Herbert, Shane, fucking irked me all day. Like, know the down marker. Get the first. That was like reminded me of Mitch against New Orleans in the playoffs. Like, dive for the fucking first. Know where the marker.
Oh, you mean when Mitch decided to run out of bounds rather than barrel forward on fourth down in the fucking playoffs? That told me all I needed to know about Mitchell Trubisky.
Dive. Give everything you have.
I think it was Chubbs at the time, me going back and forth with him in the moment. And he's like, well, you got to realize he's going to be a free agent. And I'm like, okay. If he's worried about free agency in the playoffs, I definitely don't want to see your dumbass back here.
Exactly.
As long as Cherie's happy, I'm happy.
Exactly. As long as Cherie's happy. Alex H., I really appreciate you jumping on tonight.
Guys, thanks for having me.
So glad you went out there.
Yeah, that's your sign.
I can't read because my
Bears fans representing the Tape Never Lies Network.
And alternating blue and orange.
Look at that. Thank you so much for going.
And that's Irish Rastafarian, by the way, on that side. I'm our left, your right, and his wife as well.
I thought that was actually Justin Fields. My bad. I guess I looked at it wrong.
Who is that? I couldn't hear.
Irish Rastafarian.
Irish Rastafarian.
Oh, Irish Rastafarian.
Really cool guy.
Nice.
There you go, my guy. You're all out there. Much respect.
Thank you.
Alan Bratcher's sick tonight. That's why he's not here. Shane, he's very sick. Feels like death. He texted me. And he's still showing
on
much
there. He's in the
respect.
chat.
It's weird. He gets sick every Wednesday.
We call it jackling around these parts.
Oh shit! Is he playing soccer too? That's got to be long. You imagine how long that extension cord on his ankle bracelet has to be, running around with fucking extension cord on his foot.
I love you, Alex H. Thank you so much for representing the TTNL Network. Jumping on here tonight. Modern a pizza.
No maple syrup on your pizza, Alex.
Yeah.
For Christ's
No.
sake.
What is that? Canadian
By the way,
dish?
talking about maple syrup, I did bring some
Poutine?
maple syrup, but you guys missed out. So love for you.
Trust me, I'm pissed we didn't meet up, but another time.
I thought Claudio was going to carry the baton, but he jackled it as well.
I ain't going anywhere, guys.
Would've
Rather
been home
than
way too
TTNL. So if it's not now, it's another time.
All
So
right,
it's all
brother.
good.
We'll be there.
We'll be there the next time.
Love you guys, man. All of
Love
you,
you too.
Hunter crew, everyone. Love you guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Alex H. What a great guy.
Yeah, what a great game to be at,
Ambassador.
though. You know.
Yeah.
What?
So what a great game for him to be at.
Oh,
all-
my
for
God.
Anybody. We forgot to ask him
Claudio
about
was kicking
if
himself.
he wanted
not being
to,
there.
to rip his hair out getting out of there.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that was the main reason because
Yeah.
getting out because they have it's one way in, one way out, so it takes you like an hour at least just to get
Dude,
2 miles on the road. It's crazy.
Explain to Logan how nickel defense works with a Sam linebacker. He's still not understanding it.
I don't know what. I didn't know what happened with him. What is he talking about?
He's talking about Jack Sandberg starting, like Shane was
They
saying.
just listed him as a starter. They would be their starting Sam. That's it. So
Right.
they played nickel.
When
So he
the-
never saw the field. That's what
Right.
happened.
When he went out there he was the starting
He's the
Sam back.
starting Sam linebacker.
So in 7 minutes, we're gonna get another thick 13th series. Sam is still not in. Oh, he still doesn't see it. Because he's on the sideline, Logan.
Logan
Nickel
likes
defense.
the UK office. That's all you got to
Yeah.
know about Logan after that. Jesus, you've made me forget my point. I love the
Even
fact that
Bratcher knows.
he was representing the TTNL network. If you're representing the TTNL network and you're going to the Cowboys game, my DMs are open. I will be there in Dallas. So hopefully you reach out to me. I'll try to come over and see you. I'll
gotta
be
jump
down
the
on the
fence and get on-
field.
just
I'll be
jump the
down
fence and get on the field.
I'm on the field.
No,
I'll be
I
down
need
on
you
the field.
on the 50-yard line.
I'm not going on
during
the
game.
50.
I hope
Come on,
nobody
man.
trip or anything. He may drag him out the game.
I'll be coaching up the secondary.
Jesus, just
No,
don't
it's-
run out there with a visor. We don't want you to get fucked up and miss everything.
Hopefully they win because that plane ride back is going to be pretty crazy with the Chicago Bears.
Oh my God. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, hit me up if you're going to be at the Cowboys game. We'll be up there in Dallas. There you go. I'll be in Dallas.
Don't let him fool you. He's flying private with Larison. He's flying Larison Airlines.
Yes,
Yoko Airlines.
Our business manager, Jim Larison.
Speaking of Yoko Airlines, Phil, do you know what that
Yes.
means, sir?
Are we hearing of song?
Wow, wow.
Yes.
Speaking of balls, I love balls. Oh my God, how many clips you got?
As long as Cherie's happy, I'm happy.
Clips.
That one I'm okay with.
Clips for days.
Clips. Maybe we can get, what is that? Sports clips? Don't they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can get them as a sponsor, Claudio.
Don't work for him.
Listen, is Claudio's Modern Barbershop sponsoring this
No,
segment?
yeah. It's me right here on my time.
Claudio's barbershop. Claudio's barbershop is 13 cents heavy. So
Yes,
no,
I am not
no,
spending that. I'm keeping that forever. Bringing that 13 cents with me.
Let's print out the confirmation and hang it up on the wall, like people hang their first dollar.
That's it.
Yes, 13 cents.
Speaking of the wall, you got some new stuff up on the wall back there, Cherie, right? That wasn't up before.
Yeah, she's making her move.
Nobody else noticed it, did they?
Yeah, Claudio and Ivan noticed
First thing
it.
I
pretty
saw,
well.
There you go.
It's some signed pictures, and my best friend bought me a Chicago Bears clock. For
Chicago Bears what?
Clock.
Oh, all right. I'm glad you can pronounce your L's, Sheree.
Get that L in there.
As long as Sheree's happy, I'm happy.
Sheree just ate the big old cock on the wall.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
You can condense the read, Sheree.
Oh, I can.
Yes. I skip over some paragraphs sometimes.
Oh, don't say that out loud. Jesus. I'm the guy that's got to submit the payment request.
Hey.
Speaking of balls, I love balls. I read it in its entirety, even through all y'all talking.
About balls.
Have you seen my clock? Go ahead. TikTok, motherfuckers. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Get in somebody's ass today.
Here.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh. There's got to be a better way to get my dagger clean and shiny. More
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Oh, this is what I used to deal with when I cut myself shaving before I knew about Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping my dagger slick and ready for whatever the night takes me.
There you go.
Manscaped is trusted by over 6 million men worldwide. Join the movement by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code YOKO. It's time to end the days of shaving your balls, ending up looking like a horror movie. The folks at Manscaped have the perfect package for your package to get this done. The below-the-waist grooming leaders have a 4th-generation performance package. Inside, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, liquid formulations, and 2 free gifts. Spooky season is here, and Manscaped is getting you set starting with their Lawnmower 4.0. This 4th-generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced and safe technology. Also included is their Weed Whacker. This nose and ear hair trimmer is here to whack your weeds and any goblins that come your way. Both Lawnmower and Weed Whacker are waterproof. In the comfort of your home or in wild waters, these tools are your best friends. Speaking of best friends, don't forget to give your besties the love they deserve with Manscaped liquid formulations. First is the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. You put deodorant under the armpit. Why not put deodorant on your balls? And can't forget about the Crop Reviver Ball Reviver to give the boys a boost. Even threw in 2 free gifts to their performance package. The Manscaped Black with the shared travel bag. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code YOKO at manscaped.com. This spooky season using the best tools for the job at Manscaped.
Gary, where are you?
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code YOKO at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code YOKO. Slay your worst pubes and keep your dagger clean with Manscaped.
As long as Sheree's happy, I'm happy.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
Shout out, like I said, it's my daughter's birthday. She's 19 today. Nice. She's actually in Philly with her cousin at a concert, so please be safe down there.
Be safe.
Yeah.
You guys are assholes, dude.
But there you go. Shout out to you. I love you, Adriana. Please.
Don't watch this show, Adriana.
Yeah, no, she don't. She don't give a shit. But
timing was perfect.
I love
oh shit.
Top 3 TTNL clip ever, Claude.
Different every time, and you can see Shane the moment he finds it.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy is Adriana, my daughter who went to that concert. Her birthday is actually tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
We're very aware, Claude. I had it all
queued up. I'm sure.
Oh, that's the juice, baby. Yo.
Oh my god!
As soon as we heard 19, I played that fucker.
Oh my god!
My daughter's birthday's on Friday.
Yeah,
Your daughter's birthday's tomorrow. My
They're a day
daughter's
apart.
birthday's on Friday.
Like legit, like same age.
It's crazy.
I love balls.
Manscaped.com. Use the promo code YOKO for 20% off your order. Manscaped. Trust me, I am a believer because I'm using the product. It's a big part of my dagger's life.
Yeah, your dagger's very clean.
It's very clean, smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth like dagger.
Speaking of balls, I love balls.
Cherie.
Is that it, Cherie, for the read? Was that it? Okay.
Cherie, what are you dressing up as for Halloween this year?
I don't think I'm doing anything this year.
Next week. Next week's show.
That's
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
It technically should have been tonight, right?
Yeah, we should have probably done
I
it.
thought I was gonna pop in here. I was gonna see Michael Myers.
Myers,
You gotta
the
play that,
Witch.
right?
We practiced it. It was muffled. It was muffled. Claude just the mic. Yeah, the mic wasn't really working. With
We had
the
to
mask
bring
on.
Claudio's mic closer. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
You know how I feel about stats.
Maybe that was it.
Really, stats are for losers.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, 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 this is Claudio the Barber. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. This is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. Listen, it's Jesper Horsted's world, and we're just all living in it. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports. I see you, Sherry. I see you. This is Michael the fucking killer right here. All right?
Never mind. Take him off. I can't even understand him because of the mask. It's done. Take it off.
Golly, what the hell is
I'm not
going
saying
on?
that. Hey, cut it out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you must have been at the top of your fucking class.
It's Claudio the Barber.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Just cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Man, cut that shit out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
It's Cut It Out with Claudio the Barber. Hey, you gotta let me talk, Phil. Hey, you gotta let me speak. Claudio is gonna be bringing a new sense to Keeping It 100. It's Cut It Out with Claudio on the Tape Never Lies Network. Cut it out.
Listen, just like my movies, you think they're gone, but I'm back. I'm back. Michael the Killer don't die, motherfuckers.
Michael Myers has a weird neck.
Where's this neck?
Listen,
What?
I'm self-conscious about that shit.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'm self-conscious about it.
Can you hear me okay? Because I'll do the whole fucking cut it out like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let her rip.
You see my hat?
We can't see your hat. Pull it down. There you go.
You know, Michael Myers is I'm from Illinois. I'm a fucking huge Bear fan. You guys don't know this shit.
Did you know the Michael Myers mask is a Star Trek mask of William Shatner turned inside out?
I did hear that.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Look.
See? Logan knows. He doesn't know what
Logan
the fuck
knows.
a Sam Backer does on the field, but he knows Star Trek.
Not how you spell Kurt, but okay.
All right,
You
let's
need
do
to
this.
cut a hole in the mouth. Is what?
Take it away, Clyde. Let's try if it's working right.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Yeah, Pratcher's got to cut a hole in the mouth.
All right, ready for this? Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm gonna kill this shit. Let's do it. All right.
Okay. What do you got?
No, put up the wrong one here. Let's go.
Is it this one? There you go.
Great.
Which one is it?
It's not Eddie Jackson.
There it is.
Oh my god!
What is going on?
Is this the one, Michael?
No, I will do it. I'll do it.
I will do it. Gary, where are you?
Maron.
What is going on? Did
What
he
is
breathe?
going on? I don't see anything on the screen. There we go. All right.
All right.
So listen.
Azzo mio. Who's doing it?
Michael's Italian. Listen, okay. Fuck Mac Jones. Listen, this was intentional. I don't care what anybody fucking says. Mac Jones intentionally kicked fucking Brisker, put his foot up. You can see he's sliding. His foot's down, and then he's fucking karate chopping this fucking dude in the nuts.
I love balls.
So he took one of his balls, and then Brisker's like, fuck that, I'm taking one of yours, motherfucker.
I love balls.
Back. So cut it out. That shit should have been a penalty. Fuck that shit.
There you go, Michael. You're right.
Right? Talk on it, right? I mean, how do these QBs get all these penalties against them, and then they do something like that, they don't get a penalty?
I really did think that should have been called. It looked like he was doing it maliciously.
It was intentional.
Sliding.
Well, 30 players, so I mean, it shows.
Kicking someone in the balls. Cherie, Manscaped could promo that slide. Mac Jones, the new Manscaped.
Not taking
Mac
care of the
Jones.
jewels. Not taking
Gotta
care of the
take-
dagger.
Take your visor off, Claudio.
Take the visor off, Phil. It was foggy. That's why he had a fucking visor on. All right, let's bring up the second one here. Let's go.
Here we go.
So here's the play that I wish I could have played a video of, but Shane said no. So I guess I'll have to show it here. Mustapher just fucking lost.
First,
not knowing where
Mustapher's
he's going, not knowing who to block.
He looked like he's walking the drunk line there, right, Ivan, on the first pick. He's going right down the line. He's doing. Then he's blocking someone in the back. Then he's turned watching Justin get sacked. There it is.
What you miss after the Judon is that he runs for about 10 yards with nobody around him, running right to the sideline, looking confused as shit. So
he's supposed to be an escort for the quarterback as they're setting up. In fact, Schofield misses his block. You could see it in the middle pick. He was actually at fault here because then he gets pressure on Justin right there. You could see Schofield now chasing him. But to everybody's point here, yes, Musty did not look good on this, Cherie. Cut it out, Claudio.
Hold on. Musty also was lost fucking in the locker room dancing. Why do you think
Why do you stop, Claudio? Why do you keep putting the picture back up when you want to play the video? Okay, the video is playing now, right?
Yeah. Let's play it. So look, I'm not doing something. I'm not looking at it. Musty in the background. Look at him.
Where's Musty?
Yeah, look at him over there. No clue. So.
Claudio, you don't like Musty's dancing either, Claudio. Michael Myers.
Michael, yes, exactly. We got a clip of him when he was a kid, so maybe this explains it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't play We can't hear Shane.
Oh my god.
We cannot hear Shane.
I said that kid was wearing a visor. That's why he was running around like that. He had no fucking clue where he was going.
Komet. I thought, are you calling out Komet or Mustafa, Michael?
Both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
Okay.
Take the visor off. I can't hear the play call. Oh my God. Claudio the Barber. Every week. Cut it out. It's back. The reviews are coming in hot and heavy in the chat room. Logan loved it. Loved Cut It Out this week. Sean?
Siskel and Ebert are chiming in. They loved it.
Yeah, just wanted to update everyone. So pending a physical, we agreed to trade Robert Quinn for a 4th-round pick in 2023. Just want to start out by thanking Robert for everything that he's done. I know when I took this job, he embodied, everything that we were looking for to get this thing started. The way he played, and who, what he stood for as a human being. I know the Eagles are really fortunate to have him. Anytime you have a guy that's in the 100-sack club, that's pretty special. I've hit on this before. Obviously, part of the tough thing with this job and this position are the tough decisions you have to make. And I always feel like there's the emotional side, the human part of it that you're affecting not only a man, but also his family, and you're kind of shaking that all up. And I don't take that lightly at all, and I'm sensitive to that.
He's coming
you
on,
also know
having a presser
that you're
about
tweaking the fibers of your locker room, and that's a big deal too. And he meant a lot to that locker room, but I'm fully confident that the guys, especially on the defensive side, the Jalen Johnsons, the Eddie Jacksons, the Roquan Smiths, Justin Jones, those guys are going to continue to hold it down and be leaders on that defense and help us continue to move forward. Then on the business side, it just made too much sense for what we're trying to do. It's going to allow us to continue to build a highly competitive roster. I think the other thing, too, on the business side and really the football side is I just really trust, Gibson, Muhammad, Dom Robinson, Kingsley Jonathan. Those guys are going to continue to do a good job. And just to kind of finish everything up, I also want to give, Ian Cunningham a lot of credit. He put a lot of work into this. Obviously, his relationship with Howie went a long ways. There's a lot of trust there. And I also want to thank Howie for his part as well.
Two-part question. Why about this compensation hit the mark for you, and how it fits with the long-term vision? And also, what happens if you can shed
Could
us
he have
any
gotten
light
a third?
on Robert's salary and how that factors into the deal you guys made?
The only reason they got a 4th is because they're absorbing part of the contract.
Part of it. Really, it just made sense. Like I said, Ian and Howie have a good relationship. I thought the value was fair for a good player that has a lot of rush production in his background. So it just kind of worked out.
The way that like last year when the Broncos and the Rams pulled off, it sounds similar, at least for what they did with Von Miller. Did that kind of influence the way that you guys were able to structure this sort of deal and get this one done?
We really didn't look into that so much. It was just more of, the draft compensation was the main focal point.
You had said in the preseason, or in the offseason, that you didn't plan on trading him. What changed?
Yeah, like I said, I think the guys around him.
Question.
I really do trust in, Gibson. He's had a good start to the season. Muhammad, he's brought intensity and
gives more
toughness
reps
that
to
group.
Robinson and Gibson.
And even young, Dom Robinson has flashed. Even he took the ball that Roquan got the other day, and has a promising future. And I think he's going to continue to trend upwards.
You guys seem to be having a little bit of momentum, or the wind at your back after the Patriots game. Was that at all a consideration when you're sitting there? You've got a week, 6 days till the deadline. Yeah. You've got some pretty good feelings in the locker room, and how to do this might change that or affect that.
Yeah, and that's when I talked about kind of the emotional part, that definitely is. I value. I think I've talked about that a lot. The locker room and what it means in the culture, and it sucks to mess with that. To be completely honest with you, but again, my job is to do what's best for this organization, not only now but in the future. So I felt like that was the best move for us to make.
Quinn said last week that he didn't want to be traded. He'd prefer to stay here. Can you give us his honest, or can you be honest in giving his reaction to when you told him?
Listen, he's a pro. We had our conversation face to face, just to let him know, the scenario, what was going down. He was professional about it, understood.
I like how he came out there right away to talk about this truthfully.
At this point of the season, so
especially you're coming off a win.
Yeah, I think he took it like a pro and understands the business.
Any more stokes in the fire for maybe another possible deal at the deadline, or is this?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly what I got going. Dumbass.
It's hard to tell. I know we got a few more days left. There's not a ton going on right now, so I feel good about where we're at.
Roquan Smith broke down up here.
Yeah.
What did you think of that, and did you realize how much he meant to?
Yeah, you know how much Robert means to his teammates, and that's why these decisions they're really, really tough. Because it's not just it's not a transaction. It's deeper than that.
You've never traded as a GM. You've never traded somebody that you've gotten to know well before. You came in, you traded Khalil.
That was kind of before you were in the same building, really. On a personal level, is it hard?
It's extremely hard. It's extremely hard. It's the same thing, releasing a player when you've had time together. It does get difficult.
Right now, for a day that has some emotional impact, there's got to be something exciting for you in being able to get a return that maybe people didn't think you could get. When you look at the possibility of what you can do with the pick coming back, what gives you that juice just in regards to that?
Yeah, and that's where you kind of have to compartmentalize those two different areas, for the future. I do think it's going to give us the ability to continue to grow and build that foundation that we're trying to build. That is the exciting part.
In terms of tweaking two more the fiber of the locker room, your words, is this something where do you address the team on something like this? Like just to talk about losing a guy that's respected that much?
Yeah, I know Matt has talked to the guys about that. Again, just to make sure that everyone's doing all right. And again, we understand the magnitude of, a little bit of a shakeup like that.
As best as you can tell, how did Robert's production in the 7 games impact the market? Like, do you think you'd get less, more if you had done this in the beginning of the year or in the off season?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know I wanted Robert on this team in the beginning. There weren't many conversations at all. I was transparent with him and his crew about that. I knew the way he played this game, the motor and all that. We needed that to kickstart on how Coach, Alan Williams and Flus wanted us to play defense.
There you go. The trade has been made. And Robert Quinn is no longer a Bear. Keeping it 100. I love Robert Quinn, but I get the business side of this. When you're looking at building this team, Trevis Gibson and Dominique Robinson are going to gain more reps. And that's really where you're going. And, you said it great, Shane. It's a good showcase for a young GM to handle somebody like this and put him in a situation where he's going to be competing for a championship. Not to say the Bears can't. I didn't think the Bears could win in New England and play as complete a football game.
Don't forget about the kid that they claimed a guy and end off of waivers that they're extremely high on from Buffalo. That Buffalo wanted to keep. Yeah, from Syracuse, that Kingsley Jonathan. I mean, Ryan Poles brought his name up today for a reason. Don't overlook that. He's not going to play a huge role, but he's going to assume that Dominique Robinson role in some spot places where you bring him in on a 3rd and 14 and just say, go get the quarterback, in those limited reps. And they saw enough there to claim this kid and keep him on the active 53. So don't just keep that name in mind. Trevis Gibson's going to be the ultimate winner here overall. And then Dominique Robinson's role is going to expand. But don't overlook him bringing up Kingsley Jonathan's name there, because I think that's a big part of this moving forward.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
There is hope, coming off a huge win on the road in New England, beating the fuck out of the Patriots. Let's just be honest. They really out-physicaled them, out-coached them, out-kicked them, out-playmake them. And that's really the hat trick this week. I think all of us are all going to end on, we don't even need to do bear up, bear down this week, because the Chicago Bears football team is the bear up this week, led by its head coach, Matt Eberflus. Hopefully they build off of what they did. That's what Dallas is about. I'm going to be there. I'm not going to shut my mouth no matter where I am. And the reality of that, this is a great question. I was going to save it for later, Ryan, but I want to say this.
Phil, we talked about this.
Yes. My father is the same build as Coach Eberflus. You've won the game. They know you've beaten the shit out of them. Taking a knee there shows the kind of class and respect that you have for their organization and their head coach. That's my father. I personally would have put a 40 bucket on him because I am different.
Peyton Manning,
And
please.
I say I'm going to beat the fuck out of you because that's how I'm going to coach every time. But I respect that Coach Eberflus was asked that question. Me and Shane were talking about it. And he answered, no, we took a knee there. It's not like they didn't try to run. It was just with Ebner.
Well,
and
here's the don't forget, they tried to score on first and second down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's right.
With Ebner. But on third down, Philatoshin Jr. is bringing in David Montgomery, blazing game, and I'm bringing in fucking I would have brought in Mike Pennell, for God's sake, but they threw his ass out. So
yeah, I wouldn't have brought in my I think you just let Ebner go. You bring in David Montgomery and he tears his ACL, and then that's up 19.
Get him in the game. They're not gonna tear his ACL.
He doesn't need to be in the game up 19, dude. That's like D Rose bullshit.
If it's Herbert, Ebner, I'm fine with Ebner, but just bring in a fullback. And I'm with you, Phil. Run it down to like I said, Bill would have done it to us. Bill would have done it to us.
Listen, there's two ways to look at it. There's my dad's way and my way. I keep it 100. I would have put it in, and because I'm sending not a message to the Patriots, I'm sending a message to my whole team. Coach is going to try to win no matter what. That's what we do. And I would have brought Monty in the game, and I would have fucking ran it right down their fucking throat, and it'd be 40. And we say, okay, shake hands afterwards. And you want to win the North and take it back? Never. That's how you do it. That's how I believe it. That's why Mustafa's on the bench with me and all these moves are going to make. But I understand it, and I totally, totally want this for the record. I respect the shit out of Coach Eberflus and what they decided to do. It's a flex, too. You could flex it like that on them, too. But just answering the question truthfully. You put in the comments your thoughts. What would you have done? Would you have scored 40, or would you take the knee? Would you take the knee like the Game of Thrones, Cherie?
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Unless
what? I meant to pit this.
If I'm going to root for a team, I want to give it all I got.
Next play. Pass.
There was no rhyme or reason.
Drove down the field. Mr. Montgomery breaks a huge run. If he scores on the run, you don't got to worry. But you do got to worry because he gets tackled at the freaking 15.
There was no rhyme or
Next play, shotgun.
Bold prediction.
Oh, it's the birthday boy, Christopher Sandlin.
Hey. I would never know who that is.
Looks like the fucking bully from the Christmas Story.
He does.
Did you see part 2 is
Put a
coming
hat
out
on
November
him.
17th?
He's the kid Ralphie beats the fuck out of.
Did you see Ralphie's coming back?
We always
I'm
talk about
excited.
Christmas
Why?
movies.
No. Why would they do that? No.
Okay, hold on. It's not Christmas. We always talk about Christmas movies around Christmas time. Why don't we talk about Halloween movies?
Yes, thank you.
No,
We did.
Holiday anyways.
We just butchered Michael Myers beyond fucking repair live
Listen,
on air like 5 minutes ago.
If Chris
That wasn't
Sandlin looked like Freddy Krueger, we would have been talking about Halloween movies.
Look at those braces.
Maybe he does look
Does he
like
only have
Freddy
braces
there
on
with
his
the
front
braces.
2 teeth? That's what I was trying to figure out in that picture.
I don't know.
Chris, we'll get you the other 30 when mom and dad can afford it.
We're
You only
taking
get
a
the-
loan out for the
You can only
other
get the
30.
chompers in the front fixed, Chris.
Is Chris an elf there? His ear looks like it's pointed.
Poor
Just
guy.
saying.
He's gonna text me tomorrow, calling me a fucker. I know it.
It's all on
Well, yeah,
Shane.
Ralphie comes back November 17th.
Alan's mad we aren't talking about the Matrix.
Oh man. Listen.
It takes
what's
place
your
in the
favorite-
1970s.
What's your favorite Halloween movie, Cherie?
Movie because they almost scary movies are franchises. So my favorite horror person is Freddy Krueger.
Oh, there you go. That's your favorite series there.
Yep.
What do you want Freddy Krueger to do to you, Sheree?
I don't want him shaving. No.
Where do you want those daggers, Sheree? Where do you want those daggers?
Waylon says Cowboys running back out.
Yeah.
Zeke took a shoulder to the knee. I think it looked like it hyperextended, but they're calling it a knee bruise and a thigh bruise. So
Well, that other back is quicker.
Pollard
than
is even better.
Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard's been hotter, so that might be.
Elliot would have saw it, but he's got
Yeah, I
that fucking
wouldn't.
goddamn visor. So
No wonder why he's hurt. Probably can't see the fucking hole. That's what she said. Not in the UK version of The Office, by the way. The UK version of The Office is my favorite Halloween movie. It's fucking scary dumb.
19th drive, still no Sanborn. Jack Baller, get that fucking drone up the air. Where the fuck did Sanborn go?
The drone got me. Jack Baller. Oh my god. Oh my god. Claudio, you're a big movie guy. Your favorite?
Huge.
Is there,
Huge horror
is there-
buff. Yeah,
I
my
know.
favorite is obviously Michael Myers. I mean, I literally dress up like him every Halloween. for the
Do you
last
watch
17
all of
years,
them?
And
Are
I
you-
stalk everybody that comes to my house to get candy. I sit out
Did
in
you-
my yard. And
Did
stalk
you
everybody.
watch the new one?
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
No, I was
The last two
disappointed.
were pretty bad.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
one was
sadly.
definitely forced just to
Yeah.
put it out there. It was a hard watch.
I mean,
thought.
for me, the originals, obviously the first two, and then actually I like Rob Zombie's adaptation of them. Those two that he put
Really?
out were really good. Yeah. So, but yeah, Halloween's definitely my favorite.
I'm trying to think of the movie that fucking creeped me out. It was my brothers babysitting me. and they-
Speaking of balls,
it was The Crib. There's a baby in it. I don't
Omen?
even remember.
The Omen.
What is it?
The
No.
Omen?
And the fucking kid comes to life and like kills all the doctors and shit. It was like 80s. And it's-
The Omen.
No,
Is
that's
it?
why I said the
No.
Omen. No, it's
What's the name of
Something baby. I know
Holy-
you're
Killer
talking
Baby.
about. Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary, that's
Baby.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I couldn't sleep. I fucking was scared of the fucking dark. I'm like feeling for the door. I'm like, my mom was so pissed that they made me watch Rosemary's Baby. That was it. Oh my
Another great
God.
one is the original
Children
Evil
of the
Dead.
Corn.
Children of the Corn
Original
was
Evil
freaky.
Dead.
This isn't a Halloween movie, but as a kid, one of the scariest things that I ever saw on screen was those fucking monkeys on the bikes on Wizard of Oz. That shit fucked me up, man. I used to be scared to death of those things.
Dan, oh my fucking God.
Sleepaway Camp.
Has anyone watched Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah.
Not a long time.
No, you know if you watch Sleepaway Camp, I don't want to spoil it. The very last scene is the biggest bug out. That bugged me out, Dan. I'm not going to spoil it because I think everybody should watch it. Sleepaway Camp 1, the initial one. Go check it out. It's bugged out. It's scary and weird, like a slaughter for the whole thing. And then they do a twist that you just get bugged the fuck out for days. It gave me goosebumps. Anyway, those are my thing. I'm glad he brought the Sleepaway Camp. Holy shit.
That was another good one.
I was 6 years old watching Rosemary's Baby. Come on.
Exorcist, that's a classic.
My first scary movie that truly scared me was Poltergeist.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Step into the light.
It was the tree coming in, the branches coming in. That scared.
That was so well done.
Yeah.
That was.
You
so
walk into a
well
room
done.
and the TV's on and it's all snowing. And you're like, "Fuck that!" You walk right out of that room. Carrie Ann, right?
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie, step into the light. I was scared on Poltergeist as well. I never saw Hellraisers. Are those
really
scary or no?
Yeah, I mean they're a lot of gore and not really jump scare type, but definitely.
I've only seen the first one.
Pretty fucked up.
Did you see The Orphan?
Carolyn.
That
Yeah,
shit was crazy.
Which one?
Oh yeah,
The Orphan. Did you ever see
yeah.
it?
I probably did, but it's not.
No, you wouldn't forget it. It's fucking bugged out. The Orphan. Check that out. If you want to scare.
Oh, how about fucking Brett Mailey's favorite show?
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. Brett Mailey. No, that was
Mailey.
actually a pretty good one though.
Me and Steph laughed at that.
Jeepers Creepers.
Every time he was coming, that song would go on the radio. Creepers, where'd you get those people? And they're like, "Oh, you're fucked."
Bill, could you hear me? This is your dad speaking. Can you hear me?
Vargas.
Oh, Vargas's laugh, my dad. Anyway, there you go. We talked Halloween movie.
Didn't give us his.
Who?
Ivan didn't give us his.
Oh, it's pretty much The Exorcist. I'm not into scary movies as much. I'll watch it. I'm not gonna go ahead and like. It's just not my thing. But The Exorcist was something that freaked me the hell out. So that's probably the top for me.
CK, It Follows was another one that was
That was bugged. That was bugged. I'll have to think more about it, but
I know
it as well. Like it as well.
Oh, the new It, the way they redid it really takes you back to the 80s.
Well, I agree with Cole. A lot of the newer ones are not really good.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a couple that came out that were just disturbing. Hereditary. I don't know if you guys ever seen Hereditary. It came out a few years ago. And then same director made Midsommar. Those are some disturbing.
What is it? Midsommar?
Midsommar. Same director, but those two are really good. Yeah, Hereditary.
Claudio's picks horror.
Yeah, I'm a horror.
Claudio picks horror. Have you ever seen the show Evil on Paramount Plus? Very good. Very well done. It's a good show. Anyway, bold predictions, guys.
Before you do that, should you tell them about BHL this weekend?
What about it?
Changed up a little bit?
No, I didn't. I didn't tell them.
It's not going to be a DDP rant unless we turn it over to Mr. Vargas. Did Mr. Vargas know that he's going to be under the spotlight?
The rant?
I'm in the spotlight. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, Larison had a good idea. He could film me rant, send it to you, and then you play it.
Nobody wants that.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go.
Well, hopefully the Bears are victorious this Sunday versus the Dallas Cowboys. Let's bold predict this game, Ivan. We'll start with Cherie. Like that.
I don't know if I want to start with me.
I always like talking to Ivan and then throwing it somewhere else. I love that. Go ahead, Cherie. We have to start with you.
Y'all not gonna like my. I love balls. Okay. Well, my game prediction. Sorry, guys, but I think Dallas defense is a monster. So I think it's gonna be Dallas 22, Bears 18. I do think Dallas is gonna pull out the win.
22-18. Jackal, are you writing that down at home? He still at soccer practice.
So man, I fucking fucked up, but for sure.
Okay.
I just think, Dion kind of mentioned it, the sacks and all of that stuff, and our O-line being switched around. Yeah, I don't. It's nice. We're high off of a win. I don't think we're gonna do that 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, Jackal's got it written down right here. Cherie said Chicago 18, Kansas City Chiefs 22.
Did I say Kansas?
No. Jackal did.
One of Jackal tagging Courtney Cronin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's Dion. Courtney's texting me. Was I supposed to come on tonight?
That's what I was. Well, my phone started going crazy in the middle of Riley's game. I'm like, oh shit, they make another trade or something. I looked down. I got text from Cherie, text from Bull. Actually, no, I was driving at the time.
Yes,
on the way to the game, and then Bullets texted me, and Cherie was texting me. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? I looked. She's like, he said Courtney Cronin. I'm like, oh Christ.
Look at Mr. White throwing a good line.
Yeah. It's not horror. She's my favorite horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ariel in a long time. I wonder why. Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, she started and shoved my shit in part 2. Ariel.
Oh my god. Bold prediction.
Bold prediction is Pettis gonna take one back.
Pettis is taking a punt back.
Yep.
Ivan Vargas.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I think it's going to be a closer game, though. I think it'll be about, let's say, 24-20. Bold prediction. Justin goes for 250 and 2 touchdowns.
250 passing.
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns passing, or just
two passing touchdowns? We'll be specific. Yeah, to be specific.
Look at you. 24-20. Ivan Vargas. Claudio.
Yeah, I'm not, I think I'm going to ride this wave that we're on. I think the Bears are going to go in there. You're going to be at the game. It's going to be a beautiful win. 21-20. Close.
21-20. I got to sweat it out.
You got to sweat it out. Santos will hit a
game
I'll do a double pull.
Or Larson's going to pull all his fucking hair out. If it's that
I'll tell you,
but
Greg
a bold
Bragg
prediction is actually down. Oh shit!
You caught Claude off.
Yeah, that's all right.
You caught Claude off guard.
That fucking Bradger's always got to play that shit. I'm just over here trying to build an empire with Chigo or whatever they're called. I brought my TV to the studio. Carmen says I'm a very good boy. I'm sorry.
21-20. What was your prediction?
Bold prediction. Dominique Robinson getting a lot more snaps now. Gets 2 sacks.
2 sacks.
I thought his prediction was going to be that Dominique Robinson was going to play more. I'm like, whoa.
No.
As long as Shane's happy, I'm happy.
Shane Marsaw.
Yeah, I still need to see more, and I'm going with Cherie on this. I'm going to say Dallas 23, Chicago 20. But my bold prediction, this is going to surprise a lot of people. Velus Jones.
Jeepers creepers.
Yes. Gets up top. And we're going to see that speed on the fast track in Big D. And he's going to have a 58-yard touchdown. Over the top. Yes.
Catch.
Yeah, and he's not going to drop it.
All right.
It's not a punt.
Yeah.
It's just a punt.
Yeah.
Let's throw curls.
Nope. He's throwing over the top, baby.
Fades.
Fades,
23-20. They play good, but not quite good enough.
23-20.
Velus, 58-yard touchdown.
Listen, I'm going to shock the world.
Been waiting for.
He's overwhelmed.
Give me
He's
some
afraid.
fucking names.
Every
Give me
week
some
we're going to
names.
understand the
Give me
fucking
some
why.
fucking names.
Yes, Bears Hour Live with Chris Sandlin.
Should invite Sandman on if he's around.
Yeah, you should.
Ball protection. Sanborn starts up.
There you go.
Wait, he's on the team?
I'm gonna go Chicago Bears. Victory plane ride back to Chicago. 24-17 Chicago Bears. Second half defensive performance, shutting down. I'm not buying the Dak Prescott. The Chicago Bears could get after him. Let's see what they do. If they go in running the ball with Justin Fields, plan design runs, challenge the Cowboys, they can make Parsons obsolete. Now you got to worry about DeMarcus Lawrence. That's the key here. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to, I believe they're going to make.
Well, they just traded for another big body, too. They just
Who
got.
did they get?
Jonathan Hankins from the Raiders. No, not, but he's a big fucking man that can keep guys clean.
Ain't handling that.
No, that's my point.
Hopefully they put Dieter in, but I believe I'm going to bet on the Bears this week traveling. I was so impressed with how they were prepared. I think Dion mentioned it. I heard it in the presser saying they were working on the Cowboys last week. They first and second down stuff. So they were getting ready for this moment. Hopefully it's good enough. My bold prediction is Cole Kmet, 28-yard post right through the seam for the big victory touchdown.
Yes.
Big Cole pulling it down when the game's on the line. Or put this in asterisk, Sheree. Could be N'Keal Harry. One of those two running through the seam, beating.
Bold prediction A, one
Bold
A, and
prediction
one
A, and one. That's just for Shield Boy cars.
Did you see they haven't ruled out Pringle to play?
I heard that.
Yeah, he's back and on the practice field, but Eberflus wouldn't rule him out playing this weekend.
Could Blazing Game get a TD? Oh my God, I would love that. Blazing Game quickly becoming one of my favorite players on the team. Yes.
First thing you do after the Bears win is you make
Yes.
reservations at Chicago Cut under David Kaplan's name. For 20 of us.
Take that, Cap.
Take that, Cap. We will play that as we play out. It's time to end the show. I got to pack. I got to get going. Tomorrow morning, I got to start packing.
Ariel got a big date with Ariel's mom. Going mudding. Oh, that's
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam.
The network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this policy the show is at its end, but for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Jane getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal. Spencer strong.
I'll tell you Greg Braggs is a dickhead.
Yes.
9 games in the books, they'll be no better than 3-6.
Oh, let's put a bet on that since I'll see you in Chicago.
What are we gonna bet?
I'll tell you what, with the bet, how many people are coming in?
You got more money than me, so be easy on me.
If they've won at least 4 of their first 9 games, so they got to be at least 4 and 5, I'll pick up the check for dinner.
And if they didn't, what do you want?
Yeah, what is we pay for you? That's not a
You're
fair
gonna
bet.
pay for me, whoever I bring with me, whether that's my wife or a buddy. At least 4 and 5, I'll pick up the check for dinner. I didn't say it was Gibson's. The Rock and Roll McDonald has nice seating.
Hey, there you go. Yep, I like it.
You gotta work that ass for daddy. Oh, work that ass. Gotta work that ass for daddy.
I forgot that existed. Oh my god.
Oh my god, poor Greg. I have nothing to do with that, Greg. Don't call my phone.
You cut it off, man. You cut off the best part. You gotta let the boy finish.
Is there anyone want to shout out here?
Oh, that is just.
Oh my god. Only if Bratcher and Jackal were here, this would never have happened. If Woody would have gone to the police. Cherie, do you have a shout out?
Yes, I do. Couple. Hopefully I'm wrong, Phil, on my prediction because I want you to experience the excitement of a win coming back. So hopefully I'm wrong. So shout out to you. I really hope you enjoy yourself and have a great experience. And I want to hear the stories when you get back.
Oh yeah.
And again, thank you all for having me on. I know I say it every week, but I do really look forward to Wednesday night and hanging out with y'all. So shout out to all of y'all, all the love in the world to you guys.
What's going on?
What is going on out here? Why is it me? All right. Thanks. She's being so nice.
Shout out to Jack. I know we always give him a hard time. I do miss him being on here with us. So Jack, shout out to you. Bratcher, I'm mad at you because you still haven't sent me that clip. I'm gonna have to go pull it myself. And shout out to Brian. I think he had a birthday. Shout out to Sandlin, Claudio, your daughter's birthday coming up. Phil, I believe it's Bella's birthday, right? Yeah, so shout out to her. And
I don't think he knows.
He not listening.
See how big his eyes got when you said that? Oh shit. He's on Amazon right now.
Getting that overnight delivery.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned it to you guys. My mom has been sharing the show at work, so I want to shout out Dean Smith. I know he's listening tonight. He's been going back and watching older shows, and he's really enjoying it.
Your coworkers must love me.
I got it up.
He wasn't influenced by my mom, so he might.
Oh, shout out. What was his name again? I couldn't.
His name is actually Machiavelli, my mama told me, but at school they call him Dean Smith.
Dean Smith, like the famous head coach, right?
Yeah.
Or Tar Heels.
So shout out to him.
Shout out to you, Dean Smith, Machiavelli, and all of the crew of Cherie's moms, friends, and family.
As long as Cherie's happy, I'm happy.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all, Thomas? Claudio the Barber, the horror man.
Yes. Gotta shout out Michael the Killer for fucking showing up. That dude's the man.
Yes.
No. Obviously, shout out my daughter, her birthday, Bella. You know, her birthday.
Look at Claude.
My other
hands are up here.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
not playing anything.
No, my other daughter, my 16-year-old, she went and got her driver's license. So shout out to her. She passed. So, you know, that's a good
There
thing.
you
My
go.
insurance went up. That's not a good thing, but you know, hey.
Jeepers creepers.
Shout out to my parents. Actually, both my parents had COVID. They got COVID last week. They're doing okay. My mom's still a little sick, but they're doing all right. So, you know, shout out to them. I think that's it. A couple guys I saw: Muhammad Elmi, Jason Elston. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to all of you. Obviously, great show. Shout out to Larison for making this. You know, you're going to see this game, man. You're going to have so many stories to tell us, and pictures, and amazing content. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Well said.
Very jealous.
Jim Lariston is like a miracle to TTNL. He's just a great. Anyway.
We love you, Jim.
Ivan Vargas.
Yeah, it's just short and sweet. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Phil. I hope you enjoy. I hope to see you while you know, hit stop in Chicago. Shout out to Alex H. You know, he came out here and he was just like, just the way he praised the network and about, you know, how much he learned from the network and stuff like that. And just the way he, you know, broke it down for us. It had to be an awesome experience for him. And then the sign and everything, you know, just appreciate what he did and what he was doing out there for us, even though none of us could make it. So shout out to Alex H.
You're such a dick. Oh my God, he just doesn't stop, Ivan. It's not you, Ivan.
I don't know what's going on.
Shane.
Shane being Shane.
He's such a dick. Oh my God. Well said, Ivan Vargas. Shane Marsaw.
So mean to me. On a serious note, if you can believe this, Claudio's daughter's birthday is tomorrow, but it's also a big day for this family over here because Riley is clean, cancer-free for 1 year tomorrow.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, we've it's been a
great day.
Super
Great day.
Riley.
Yeah, super long year with a lot of ups and downs. You know, with my mom, found out Riley was clear, and then my mom was diagnosed with cancer shortly after. So it's still kind of dealing with fallout from that. But yeah, big day around here. You know, hug your family, kiss them, take care of them, because unfortunately things can happen on a whim, and you're not you're not paying attention. Shit can change real fast, and I think everybody up here on this panel understands that when things go wrong with your family, it affects literally everything in your life, and big wins in New England kind of get pushed to the back burner because first and foremost, like we always say here, if we don't have our family, we don't have anything. You know, that's our end of the day. That's our foundation. Without our family, there's no TTNL. Without good people like Cherie and Claudio and Ivan and Jackal and everybody behind the scenes here. And you said, Phil, it's, you know, none of this is possible. And big shout out to our guy Jim Larison. definitely without him, this this venture that we started back in August of 2020 wouldn't be where it is today. So shout out to everybody here. Shout out to my son. I love you. It's been a big year for you, and it's going to continue to ascend starting tomorrow. So those are my shout outs.
Shout out Riley.
Riley be balling.
Balling. Yes. Shout out to everybody that gets something out of this network that's beyond what they could put to words or can put to words. Your words mean a lot to me, and every fan matters. Even the hater, we know you're watching. That's all that matters to me at the end of the day. I know all of you guys on this network deserve so much praise, and just the little things mean a lot, because I know my brain sometimes needs a rest trying to think of stuff, and having Ivan and Ron G, Caden Whitlow and Bratcher, Claudio and Jackal, wherever he is, all of you, and Cherie, Zorich, all of you stepping up, doing the little things. Even Cars, who's half the time wrong, half the time right. He's doing his thing. I miss Cars on here. Should stop in at least once a month, Cars. Come on.
You'll see him tomorrow night. Cars Keys.
Live
at 9 o'clock. He had to
9 tomorrow.
He had to push back the time for this guy over here. But yeah.
I also want to. What?
What are you doing?
What?
Yes, tomorrow night is unlocked. We figured big win. We're gonna get a lot of input from fans and talk about it a little bit. So yeah, it should be a fun show.
There you go. Tomorrow night, Cars Keys. I want to shout out, obviously, Jim Larison, the authenticity and generosity and just the opportunity that I will share when I get back. All of these guys know, but I just don't want it to be known. But it's going to be exciting for TTNL Network. And Jim is is the reason for that. So I would be remiss if I didn't. I want to shout out Alex H for being an ambassador of TTNL. Adam Rank, your promotion and belief in what we do here. He called me and was talking to me. It means so much how much he enjoys all of you guys as well, knows and believes in this network. That means a lot to me.
Should you break news with that, maybe?
Not yet.
You don't want to?
Not yet. Once I firm.
Shout out Courtney Cronin either. Shout her out. She did great tonight.
Courtney Cronin. I love Courtney as well. We shout out Courtney, but also Dion Miller is just an angel.
Yep.
She's just authentic, and you could tell she wrote me like, I just so enjoy coming on the show. That's what it's about. All of the guests that come on the show, let's have some fun. Let's debate. Let's have passion. There's no phoniness. All of that. I want to shout out Matt Byer and ask everybody. Matt Byer has been a big supporter of the network. I know he has a surgery tomorrow. So I always ask people to send some positive energy towards people, and Matt is going in for surgery. So if you TTNL heads can send some positive energy towards him. I want to shout out my daughter, whose birthday. She'll be 20 years old on Friday. So it's crazy.
No concerts in Philly?
Concert in Jersey. There's a concert in Jersey. There's a Halloween party on Friday. Anyway, be safe. I thought it was supposed to get easier. Like when the kids get older, it seems to get more stressful and harder.
Yeah, worse things can happen. That's why, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I really thought it was going to be easier, but it's like, where's all this anxiety coming from? Jesus. Sammy the Bull, Ron Brizzle, Funkster Jones, HL Priest, Ben Ricketts, Jose Torres, Brian Sanchez, Sergio, all of you guys in the chat each and every week, helping build us into the global brand that we've become. There's a lot of fucking haters. I see you every week. It's fine. I want you to come in here. I want you to enjoy it, but I really thank you all. Good, bad, or indifferent, whether we agree or disagree. At the end of the day, the Bears are the most important thing that drives this network, their success. We finally got a taste of that success in a modern pizza-esque way, Shane. They beat the Patriots and beat them on Monday Night Football when no one believed in them. And they did it in the Chicago Bear way by pounding the football and playing great defense. And now they got a quarterback that can be dynamic. Let's hope he build on it. And yes, Logan Frost and Jack Baller, all of you guys around the world, thank you so much. Really excited. Check us out. We'll be covering Dallas tomorrow. If you're a patron, I'll put out the DDP tape, Never Lies, and get that out there for you. That's
How long will it be, Phil?
It's going to be about 24 minutes.
Oh, man. You guys used to be so much better.
Oh, I'm not putting it on the YouTube tomorrow, Shane.
I know.
I'm putting it on our Patreon tomorrow. Maybe the YouTube on Friday if I get a second. But yeah.
Speaking of the way.
Of the way.
Yes. We're going to close out this show tonight
Yes.
the only way we know how, Phil.
Okay.
And what way is that? It's this way.
I can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but
Jacko better do some shit. Jacko better do some shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit now. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko don't do shit. Jacko better do some shit. Jacko better do some shit.